There you go. It's also like really good to play back the video of like some shit that's being play tested, I guess, so you can watch.
It is, honest to God, that has been the greatest part of streaming for me. Is just like when I forget shit, I can go look it up. I really undervalued how much I would rely on that. All right, the deed is done. It's been announced.
All right. Well, any of you guys send me the some last minute tokens. I'm gonna just ramble for a couple minutes about what we're doing, which I never do because I'm unprofessional. But today I'm doing it because reasons. Uh, so anyone tuning in, I have been working on a buttload of homebrew content, and today we are beta testing it. So if you are here for classic D&D, go away. This is not for you. Don't expect this to function correctly or be balanced necessarily. We're testing out a lot of stuff. But yeah, I've basically spent the past month kind of working on a little splat book with kind of a little bit of everything from races to backgrounds to literally a full-on class, and a bunch of other custom rules for like low magic settings and other things like that. So we're going to test a bunch of it today and see if literally any of it functions whatsoever. And yeah, next month I will probably release this publicly, and to shamelessly plug it, if you want to see it early, I have a Patreon.
Do it.
It's straight, and then, but if you don't, that's fine too. It'll be released publicly. It'll be.
Unacceptable.
I'll announce it on our Discord and like FA and stuff, so it'll be around.
It is an honor to be your guinea pig.
Whose voice? You've played somebody with that. It's not quite Jerry. I don't know.
It's like Jerry as a gremlin. But yeah, why don't we start with a couple quick character introductions? This isn't going to be like it's a one shot. You guys don't need thorough backstories or anything. Just like who you are, kind of what you look like, and what you're going to be playing. And let's go in order of our IDT portraits. So
Oh, no.
start with Beck.
No, save me for last because I'm almost done with the art.
Fine, we'll go in reverse order then.
I did it.
Risk.
Fuck, god damn it.
Right.
I was outside like getting coffee because I haven't slept in 2 days, and I was like, oh, it's back. I'll go grab this cup real quick, and then immediately it jumps to me,
I shirked.
the
I
last
shirked
one
real
on the
hard.
list. You shirked it. How dare you do this? Let me shut my door so I don't wake up everyone. This goddamn. So yes, I am playing one of the custom races. Technically two. It's the half blood. The what is it? The half blood? I think it's called half blood, right?
Demon half blood.
The demon half blood, which is really cool because it's like you get to pick a lineage, and one of the original races that Drake made was the Vesperosans, the Vesperosa, which are these bat-like people who grow death masks. They're like skulls protrude during the transition from teenager to adulthood or whatever, and it's really cool. But I decided I want to one up that really coolness and go extra edgy and fucking stab demon shit into myself, right? So I am playing Mr. Bliss. Mr. Bliss is a tall bat fellow. He wears his wings around his neck, kind of like, gargoyles, the Disney show, how they'd fold their wings around their shoulders like some kind of cloak. He dresses very smart, very formal, but he is a summoner. Sorry, a companion. I don't know if that's an official name you're going with, or if like it's a placeholder.
Yeah, it doesn't really have a name because I left it intentionally extremely vague so that you could be either summoning
Yeah,
celestial spirits with magic, or you
or
could
you
literally
just have
just have a bunch
friends,
of Pokeballs.
right? Yeah, yeah. The idea here is he was mistreated for his heritage, but he was rescued by fellow demons, and now he seeks to find the rest of his family by collecting more of them, either by summoning or finding them in the wild, saving them from being mistreated. He has several so far. You will meet maybe two of them throughout the course of this game, maybe three. Who knows? Um, I'm excited to try out this class.
All right. And Cole.
I am playing Gilzara. I'm a Cerulean, which is also one of Drake's new races here. The Ceruleans are lizard folk who hang out in the jungle and have a very tight social structure. But Gilzara is not about that. He's an outlander. He wanders the jungle searching for treasure and ruins and things like that. I am a fully assed fighter. I've got 11 levels of fighter. Kind of leaning towards Archer subtype, but I am taking, I'm trying to find where it is on the PDF that he sent out. There's a different style, archetype, for fighter that Drake has created. I'm getting there. Called the Beast Slayer. Just a little mix of everything. There's some options that I could have picked a Beast Companion, but considering we've got a Pokemon Master with us, I didn't really want to do that. I'm exceptionally less fleshed out than Frisk's character. I'm just a lizard that lives in the jungle and didn't want anything to do with the social hierarchy of the Cerulean Empire. So I make my life hunting monsters and selling their bit.
Excellent. Philo.
Okay. I'm Philo. You might know me as Vasu or Daru or just Philo.
Hi, Philo.
Today, hi.
Hi,
Today I'm
Philo.
going to be playing another one of the custom races that Drake made. One of the sub races of the Goblin, actually. I'm playing a Bublin, which is basically just a fish, a horrible little fish goblin. They're better adapted for, swimming and such, of course. His name is Shishka. He is I don't know if I should reveal what his background is because it might be a fun thing. But yeah, I'm just playing a
We
somewhat
can
simple
see
class.
them all over you.
No, I have them tucked away. What are you talking about?
Okay.
You
I'm
can only
scared.
you can only see them if they want you to.
Oh no, that's worse.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm playing Shishka, a Bublin, mostly rogue. I dabbled a little bit with the roguish archetype things that Drake did. So instead of locking into, say, a swashbuckler at third level, he has a neat little thing where you can kind of mix and match which perks you get. So uh, at third level, I have some of the swashbuckler stuff, but then I put enough levels in rogue to also get like one of the later feat things too, and I went for like superior sneak too instead of just more swashbuckler stuff. So it should be kind of cool. It's another one of the adaptive or kind of switch around and play how you like it classes that he's working on, and I think it could be cool. And
Do
then
we
my
get a
other two
picture?
levels, I'm working on it. Kinda. It's just the bubbling that he drew because I
I
love
know.
it so much.
I just want the stream to know what it
Yeah,
looks like.
I'll get it in just a second. I think he sent it to me, but I'm talking.
They'll see this thing whenever I release it properly.
Hell
Yeah. But that's pretty much it for. I don't know what else you wanted me to say about my character. He's a horrible little fish goblin.
What are his hopes and dreams?
He wants to be wealthy, and I don't know. I don't know what his hopes and dreams are. It's a one-shot character.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We are
but
here to.
I did kind of play into the little bit of flavor that Drake gave goblins in this setting, and that they don't really get along with each other, especially the different types of goblins. I think so. That's why Shishka kind of just fucked off from his water goblin tribe because he wanted to go be a treasure hunter / monster hunter.
Yeah, fuck the
slash-
man.
Yeah, fuck the man.
Fuck the man.
And
Fuck
I
my
made
own race.
and I made lots of wonderful little friends along the way.
Nice to meet you, Shishka.
Hello, Shishka.
Hello.
People make
I don't
the
know
joke
what my
often.
voice. I don't know what my voice is. What joke?
And clearly a goblin.
I don't even know if I got a voice for this.
Yeah, I definitely have a voice ready.
I just defaulted to the voice that you guys use for every kobold / goblin / small race character that we meet.
See, I've tried, and it just sounds like Cole having a stroke, and it's just really
Yeah.
hard.
I don't know if mine is
you-
actually
can
coming
you
across
please-
well either. It feels very strange to do.
It's me. We made it back to me, and I'm actually prepared this time. I'm playing Jupiter. Jupiter is another one of the custom races, the Affixi. They're kind of like weird cat people, except they've got these feathers kind of taking over their ears and parts of their body and their tails. And they're good climbers and jumpers and fallers. I don't know if being good at falling is a thing that you would. They're good at falling. They're good at surviving falls anyway. He lived on a bunch of ships. He lived on a flotilla that sailed around. Doesn't really have a home. It's like a big traveling flotilla. Kind of looking for a new home, but that's also kind of just like what they say they're doing, and really they run the same circuit for years and years and years. They have a traveling home. I am playing, he started Swashbuckler, but I'm also dipping into Druid. I am testing out what is it called, Celestial? Stars? Is it just called Stars Druid? I forget. The Druid of Stars. Gonna give that a go. But I'm using Drake's custom Rogue archetype, which gives me a little bit of an extra bit of flexibility for my archetype picks for the Rogue half of them. Yeah, that's him. That's Jupe.
And that's the cast.
And that's us
We did
for now.
So we got
Also, real quick, how many items can we make, and what level can they be?
4
Four
level
and 3.
4 items, level 3. Got it.
Could someone explain real quick the item rules to the stream?
Not it.
So the idea,
I haven't slept in 2 days, so I don't know the rules.
and this is one of the big things that Drake's been working on, and also take over if you want to do this instead of me. But my understanding is, based on your toolkit proficiencies, you have certain crafting jobs, and each of those crafting jobs can prepare items every day, almost like you would prepare spells. So you could prepare a bunch of silvered ammunition, or you could prepare some talismans that let you make your item or your weapon magical, stuff like that. You could prepare hunting traps or explosive locks, and it's just it's a way to kind of make crafting have a bit of a more prominent role, and to give some more practical day-to-day uses for toolkit proficiencies in the game.
Yeah, basically it expands on the tool proficiencies so that they're a bit more useful, and it's more importantly kind of intended to kind of offset and make up for the kind of lower magic.
Oh yeah, was that mentioned yet?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is a low magic world.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, so one of the big things that this is working on is doing a kind of low magic setting, and one of the ways that it's doing that is by capping your cast or your spellcaster level to 10 instead of 20, which basically means that you could play a full paladin because they are half casters, so their caster level is half their total level. But wizards, who are full casters, you can only have 10 levels of a wizard at 20th level.
Does 5e have third casters anymore, or was that just the UA artificer and they got rid of it?
No, they do.
Oh,
That's
wait,
what
Trickster.
the
Yeah.
Trickster and Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight. Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
The only
Imagine
one so
taking
far.
literally any levels in a spellcaster. You guys are weird.
But yeah, basically, I don't like DMing with high magic because it frustrates me.
That's fair.
And this is, it's not even that I'm frustrated by high level magic particularly. It's that I really enjoy that like magic level of like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And so this is my way of attempting to kind of offset that and kind of play around with the idea of kind of extending that level of magic to a like 20th level scale.
I'm excited.
However, D&D is kind of built to expect you to have some access to magic, so the crafting system is designed to kind of help offset some of that. So, like alchemists and things are able to prepare basic healing potions as a supplement for things like cure wounds. And because we're doing gritty regen, it takes a week to do a long rest, and over the course of a week, you can kind of prepare certain things. So yeah, we're gonna see if any of that works, and hopefully you guys all have your items prepared.
This is metagaming, but are we gonna have any reason to have a toxic or alarmed padlock in this one shot?
It's up to you.
I hope we kill some people.
I mean, we're probably going to be killing people, but do we need to be locking them out of things?
I don't know.
That sounded like a little bit of Vasu for a second there.
I like
Good
I don't know what's
God.
going on with my voice.
I
Hi,
thought
I'm
we were hunting
Shishka.
monsters.
I'm going to do my standard small person voice.
Mustard?
You probably won't need a toxic lock.
A little deeper than mustard. I don't know.
So like Willow.
We'll give you that much information.
Willow. Okay, hang on. I have to be
The
careful.
movie
Like-
Willow.
Like the
The movie, yeah.
like the-
Okay, I had to make sure that
okay.
I had to make sure that I wasn't like actively running an NPC named Willow that I had forgotten about, because that would be a bad look as a DM. That'd be
Well,
real
see,
bad.
I was like halfway between like the 1980s movie and then the supporting character from Buffy.
Yeah,
Ah.
Yeah,
That was
I
the
went
other
to
one,
Buff-
yeah.
I went to Buffy Willow.
This is like a part of a personality test. Let's see what kind of person you are. Do you think of Willow Buffy or Willow?
Or do you just think of the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter?
Oh yeah, that too. That's a third personality trait. So how do we begin this?
So yeah, let's start. So spoiler alert, although this is a one shot, it's not really a story heavy one shot. We're testing some weird rules. We're going to be fighting stuff a lot, and the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
that we're going to be doing that is the lot of you have all been hired by some of the monster hunters in this world to go and investigate some recent trouble. Apparently, some of the plants in the jungle kind of surrounding the town have been getting sick and dying. They've been kind of wilting and kind of drying out really rapidly, almost like they aren't getting any water or sustenance, even though there is plenty of water around. I think that's
Sounds like a blight.
Sounds like something I'm especially well prepared to deal with.
You're a gardener.
Sure.
I have Lore Jungle Flora.
Oh, fuck.
That sounds real good.
Sounds like we're very well equipped to deal with this.
Yeah, I was just like, lizard people are like jungle, so I'm gonna take like jungle fauna and flora and hope it comes up, and turns out that's our biome. So
Hey, roll of the dice. Not 20.
Speaking of, I also did rules for lore skills, which if anybody has played like Shadowrun or Pathfinder, it's basically my way of incorporating kind of lore skills into.
Well, we're gonna try that now.
And conveniently, we're actually going to get to test it out. I didn't think we would.
for what it feels a little more like sub skills, and I'm really down into that.
Yeah, it's more of just kind of like expanding on your knowledge skills a little bit more than actually like proper lore skills. But yeah, we'll see how it works.
Like lore skills Beatles albums.
Damn, I took Coldplay.
Coldplay.
Everyone, don't you get?
We've only got Smash Mouth.
How do I make this joke without being offensive? What color is your lizard folk?
Fucking, I don't know. Why are you asking me that?
I'm just saying,
Chameleon,
some
so you can
people-
be any color.
Some people get Coldplay lore skills for free. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, he might be all yellow.
Okay. Thanks for
Kind of a greenish yellow, yeah.
that diffuses that. That diffused that nicely. Let's carry on before it becomes racist.
Oh, because it's a Coldplay.
I-
It's a reference to the Coldplay song with the same.
Yeah,
name.
that's where I'm.
I don't get it.
Chris, the joke is that all white people innately know and love Coldplay.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like Coldplay.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a white people joke too.
Yeah, it was.
For the record.
So, yeah, you guys have been given your
Shit, I
task
have no token.
and told that the majority of the or the decay that has been spotted is about a mile or so out of town. And is heading down the Hellmouth River a little ways.
Go check that shit out. Let's do it. You ever heard anything like this? I guess we'll probably need to like see the disease to really be able to identify it better, but
Yeah. So for what it's worth, so I did have a question about this. So this is based off of me being trained in survival. I'm not trained in nature. So I don't know if that would apply if I was like trying to identify like a blight. So much
Yeah.
as like looking at something and telling like maybe we probably shouldn't eat that. But I don't know. So
I think you would still be able to. I think it would still apply to some degree.
okay. So should I do survival with advantage for jungle flora? Just to kind of see what I can tell about like these plants and maybe how they normally should act. Like what the vector disease is, I suppose.
Sure. Give me either a nature or survival check with advantage.
Bam.
So, judging from the description that you've been given, it definitely does sound like they're possibly not getting water, which would lead you to think that there's possibly something wrong with their roots, maybe. Uh, Possibly something subterranean is either eating at the roots or is somehow tampering with them that is causing them to uh, essentially become malnourished and wither away. Because there's definitely plenty of water around. It's a jungle. It's very humid. It rains a lot.
Okay. Can I like just like dig one like just a random plant nearby that's not going to melt off my fingers? Based off that survival check and see if I can see any obvious like pest tunnels or like any kind of weird like root blight or anything like that?
Sure. Give me a
Oh no, there's no hand raise.
yeah, you could probably just you could just dig it up. But give me a what would this be? I guess a Constitution check.
Okay. Like a save?
Just a check. So as you kind of start digging some of the dirt up to reveal the roots, you do see that they're in a very similar condition to the rest of the tree, where they're just kind of like eaten away and kind of withered. But you notice that the dirt is particularly tacky, and it kind of stings your fingers a little bit.
Ooh.
It doesn't do any damage or anything, but it makes your fingers feel tingly, like pop rocks on your tongue.
Okay, I'm gonna shake that off real quick and then share my findings with the rest of the class.
All right. Let me jump in on this. Once we get down there and we're kind of surrounded by all these withered plants, I'd like to rule out that it's not some sort of... I want to confirm that it's actually a disease of some sort that we're dealing with and not some other mechanical issue. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to begin casting a spell. And as I do, these little motes of light form between my hands, and then they scatter out in a field around me as I ritually cast a spell that I didn't believe I would be using in a one-shot. Detect poison and disease. And I'm going to see if there are any diseases of any sort within 30 feet of me, and also immediately identify those diseases.
Do you want me to step away for a minute?
Maybe, but if you have a
I'm
disease...
I'm carrying a lot of poison on me. Like a lot.
It's okay. It won't interfere with anything, but boy, you really are glowing. And I like to think there's like 17 little tiny stars that are all just swarming around your pockets or wherever you keep the poison.
Funnily enough, they're moving.
Uh-oh.
Some of them might be.
Uh-oh.
Just a few steps back away from. So, what's this about the soil?
Is there something wrong with the dirt?
So, with detect poison and disease, I'm going to extend this to this other thing because I'm the DM and I do what I want.
Hell yeah.
You don't necessarily detect poison explicitly, but you do detect something that would definitely be poisonous to eat, and it appears to essentially have soaked into the dirt and a lot of the surrounding water. And as best you can tell, it appears to be acidic.
Interesting. Do I kind of get the impression that something with an acidic, sloopy coat kind of like passed through here, and in doing so kind of like salted the earth and is causing everything to wither?
Kind of. And more than that, it seems to have also like sunk into some of the like standing puddles of water. Like it's rained here probably fairly recently, and so there are just areas very shallow, like only not even half an inch deep, of just like puddles of water periodically. And several of those do kind of light up as if they've just kind of been tainted by some kind of very concentrated acid. And it's dispersed over time at this point, but as a result, it is also kind of soaked into the ground and started to kind of kill some of these plants.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I'll add my findings to Noel's findings and get to the bottom of it.
Also, if they shared that it was like poison or something that was dumped on the ground, could I make a poisoner's kit check to see if I might learn anything else?
Sure. Kind of search around through the ground.
While he's making that check real quick, just background stuff. I'm assuming we've been... Woo, nice.
Also, what stat is poisoner's kit?
Usually int.
Okay, so that is yeah, that's still just a 24, but still nat 20.
Hell yeah. Who wants a fiery weapon? Before we get too far into this. Just takes a regular weapon, makes it do fire instead. Useful if we fight monsters that are immune to normal weapons.
I'm pretty hot already.
Legit.
Someone else could use it, perhaps.
I was gonna say, if everybody's already got a thing for it, that's cool.
It sounds really cool, but I'm just worried about the possible collateral damage. There are a lot of trees around here.
Oh, you weren't here for it. Okay. Yeah.
Listen, if no one else will take it,
Yeah, go for it. It's all you. I've got a couple. I've got a couple to spare. So here you go.
how do you use this?
So he pulls a playing card from a deck of cards, and you can see that there is a roaring sun on it. And he folds it around your blade and then rips it up towards the tip. And as it does, the whole thing just kind of begins to shed a little bit of dim light like a hot iron.
Does it work on a whip?
Absolutely, it works on a whip.
Excellent. Look at that.
I just have to run instead of pulling it up towards the tip because, whip's like 20 feet long.
Yeah. I'm a fucking Belmont.
Hell yeah.
You're full of tricks. I like that.
Alright, what do you know about this poison?
I know a lot about it, I'm sure, but
Oh, actually, I do too, if it is actually poison.
You gotta think on it for a second.
It's not poison. It is technically,
Acid.
yeah, it's acid.
Oh. That's what our friend here mentioned. It tickled the palms.
Alright. Well, unless we have any other ideas for right here, I say we follow these shimmering stars and kind of follow this trail of diseased poisonous acid or whatever, and see if it leads us anywhere, or if we can tell like where it went, where it's going. You were really good at tracking before. Can you tell based on like this layout, like where it might have come from or where it might be going to? Looking over to, what is it? Guelzara.
Gilzara.
Let's see here. If I've been here before, then yes.
Oh, his face. He looks
yeah,
up there.
I've got the Wanderer feature.
Oh my god, the fish I sent you. Is me.
Holy shit!
Love it.
Sorry. Carry on.
It's fine. So, if I've got an excellent memory for maps and geography, so if I've been through here before, I know the general layout.
I would say that this is close enough to your usual stomping ground that you would be aware of it.
Okay, cool. So can I kind of figure out like the direction in which this stuff is kind of coming from?
Yeah, give me a survival check.
23 if I get advantage from the Wanderer, otherwise 15.
Both are plenty for this. The effects of whatever has been kind of causing this withering of a lot of the plants in the area is very apparent. It's pretty easy to follow, and you do end up, after kind of scouting the surrounding area for a little bit, you do come across a particularly fresh kind of clump of what appears to be some kind of like acidic material. But unlike a lot of what you've seen, where it's just kind of already kind of dispersed and soaked into either the water or into the earth or whatever, this appears to be a lot more congealed. It's very like, yeah, it just has like a lot more substance. It's thick and clings to the sides of tree bark and is started to kind of eat holes into the various plants and surrounding stone and earth.
Do I know of any kind of creature that could cause this? Like, is there something that's like maybe feeding around here and in
Possibly.
some kind of weird way?
Give me either I guess it'd probably just be a nature check.
Okay, less good at that, but I do have jungle fauna, so it'll give me advantage.
I immediately love this lore skill system.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
You feel pretty confident that this isn't something that is natural to the surrounding jungle area.
Okay. So either like it's not animal at all, or it's some kind of transplant that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah. Uh, the only thing that you could kind of like connect to it as far as like jungle or just animals in general uh, would be something like a slug or a snail that leaves kind of a bit of a slimy residue sometimes. Um, that's somewhat reminiscent, but just the scale of it and the acidic quality are just super alien for something that would be like naturally found in the jungle here.
Okay. Well, I'll share that with everyone else and see if we can kind of come up with something here. It might be a little bit outside of my wheelhouse.
I highly doubt I'd know a whole lot about it either. I think we just got to find what's doing this and go from there. It leaves behind this thick, awful shit. It can't be too hard to find, hopefully. I think maybe it's like a giant slug or an ooze or something.
Imagine if it is, it'll be easy to spot.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
All right. Carrying onward, you guys are able to kind of follow some of these thicker clumps of just acidic goo, essentially. And by tracking it, you guys eventually come across a small area where there are a couple of kind of standing pools of water, a little bit deeper than some of the other areas. Uh, the You kind of are breaking into a bit of kind of a swampier section of the jungle, and something stands out immediately, which is a large pile of bones.
Well,
That's not good.
Which
Oh,
I'll show you here.
That's quite a lot of bones.
that does not look like a fiend's bones, no?
It doesn't really look like a slug either, right?
I do not think slugs have bones, do they?
ooh, well,
Oh,
I don't
I think
know.
you're right.
Uh, I'm pretty sure they don't have bones.
Can you imagine though how satisfying that would be to like
God.
crunch them?
Uh, hmm.
Is a snail shell? That's not bone. It's some other material, right?
It's keratin, I think.
That makes sense.
Shell. It's shell.
It's shell.
But yeah, this is essentially what you guys see.
All right. I'll approach cautiously, and I still have. I'm refreshing detect disease and poison just so I can kind of help follow this trail. I'll keep an eye out for anything lit up by that.
Sure. Give me a stealth check.
Everybody or just him?
Anyone who's approaching.
I'll come check it out.
Me too.
I'll bring the rear.
Would love to have advantage.
Not proficient in stealth. That's gonna suck. Yep.
Same, which is very weird for me.
Uh,
Ain't you a rogue?
Sure
Guelza,
am.
you take to the jungle very easily, and you are able to leap into the trees and hide. The rest of your company, less so, as they trundle up towards these bones. It's at this point that the kind of surrounding goo starts to snap to the bones.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh.
Oh,
and it begins to almost form gel-like ligaments connecting them all, and begins to slowly encase and envelop the bones.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. It's gonna
Ah,
eat the
someone
bones?
guessed ooze.
well, I'm glad that I'm in the trees and nothing can see me. See you later, nerds. Oh,
Oh my god, it's a puppet ooze. Or a
Where it
puppeteer ooze.
reveals a large ooze covered set of bones in the shape of sort of a almost Tyrannosaurus like visage, except it has a set of offshoots that kind of connect various other bones into what almost look like pseudo wings.
slugs do have bones.
I knew it. I'm sorry for ever doubting you.
Because I'm super prepared and professional, I'm just going to quickly pull all your tokens over.
Man, it's really cool having a character that doesn't give a shit about resources. I've got like 2 things on a short rest. I don't have other numbers. I'm good.
You have enough arrows to basically have infinite.
I started with 20 and made 60 more. I'm good.
Speaking of Mr. Bliss, who do you currently have with you?
So out with me right now. Let me just up. Can I upload a token for? Let me do it here. Yeah, I can do it. Cool. I'm uploading one right now. So when Mr. Bliss is walking around behind the group, because he's not very confident in the jungle area, he's used to like the plains or a haunted house, or your typical. I forgot the place where you buy goth shit. So this
Hot
Joe,
topic.
that's the one. Yeah, the hot topics. I haven't been there in years. He has what appears to be a floating fish about the size of medium-sized dog. It's a
Is
koi.
it bigger than me?
It might be. This is a koi with very long flowing fins, almost like a dress. It seems almost ghostly. It's elegant and pretty, except it has 3 blood red eyes.
Oh,
And this is Velvet Sorrow, my medic summon.
Excellent.
I can drag the token out here next to me. Oh shoot, the circles aren't filled up yet.
You?
Uh, yeah, that's going to be initiative. So.
While folks are rolling initiative, I have a question about your custom feat. The Fate Weaver custom feat, do you have to pick the person that you're giving the die to before you roll the die? Or can you roll it and then decide who to give it to?
You have to, pretty sure you have to choose before because you perform the ritual with them.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. In that case, for paperwork purposes, I'll perform that ritual with myself. Damn it.
right. So, between Jupe and Guelza, which of you guys wants to go first?
Go for it.
All right. So, just a couple of seconds before all this happens, Gilza just vanishes into the trees. And as this thing forms, you'll see a trio of arrows fire out at it. So I'm guessing my first one has advantage because it can't see me, and then it does.
Right.
It has.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna do this.
Good thing for advantage.
Yep. And then a regular shot, and then one more sharpshoot.
Nice, nice, nice.
And you guys see this tree kind of rustle a little bit as I reposition some in it, just leaping from branch to branch.
Excellent. Yeah, all 3 arrows fire in, and they definitely lose a lot of their momentum as they hit this jello-like substance. But they do seem to be impacting and doing a decent amount of damage.
Sweet, that was me.
All right. Jupe's up. Jupe is going to run straight up to this thing. He don't care how big it is. And as he runs up, he clamps his hands together and releases. And when he does, all of his fur changes to the same dark black that his feathers are, except for tiny little pinpricks of white. And he seems to take on almost a star-like form, literally kind of shining light from all these stars that have formed over his body. And as soon as he does that, he fires a palm towards this thing, and pew! 13 for 10 points of damage, which I believe is radiant.
13 does hit, and Radiant does appear to be perfectly effective.
Sick. And then
Oh, that's good to know.
I will use my main action to dodge, and that's me.
Excellent. Before Mr. Bliss's turn.
I think
It-
other guy goes before me. He rolled a 15.
Oh, sorry. Before
Sheesh.
Shisha's turn, this thing is going to use one of its legendary actions.
Oh,
Oh no.
Uh, you know what? For shits and giggles, it's going to use 2 of its legendary actions
Oh no.
to make an attack on Jupe, and because it's a effect character, I'm guessing 18 misses.
I mean, he's only got studded leather.
Does, according to sheet, it's 18 hits.
So dang.
Which we'll see when he gets back.
Yeah.
But until then, Sheesh, what do you do?
Sheesh sees this horrible giant slimy T-Rex dragon thing form, and then a few arrows, and then a tiny little cat run at it, and he kind of blinks after a moment and shrugs and reaches toward his back, and kind of with both hands toward what at first looked like 2 daggers, like kind of held in the same like wooden case. But then when he pulls them out, it becomes evident that one of them is a knife and the other one is like a carving fork. And he says, "I'm not afraid of you!" And I'm going to use my bonus action to dash, which means I can get up here no problem. And since Jupe is right there, this is a sneak attack.
I love this.
That does it. Are either of these silvered?
No.
Still does a bunch of damage, though.
All right. I wasn't actually expecting to hit it. That turn was kind of a joke. Now I wish I could attack it again, but I already said I committed to use my bonus action to dash. So she is then going to jump into the water and swim way the fuck away.
Excellent.
And he just stays underwater, holding his
Oh,
breath.
that's right, dodging.
Yeah,
Shit.
it can't hit me.
18 still hits.
Okay.
Let's see how much damage it does. $20.
Woo! Alright, I will use my reaction to uncanny dodge that down to 10.
All right. I do need you to make a dexterity saving throw as well.
19.
19 because of dodging, and that is enough to save you.
Woo!
So as this thing, the kind of skull suddenly protrudes out of the kind of gel casing,
Ugh.
and snaps at you almost like a goblin shark mouth.
Yep.
But you are able to get out of the way. It's your choice of if you want to push back 5 feet or push to the side 5 feet.
Let's go to the side over here-ish.
Just kind of lunge forward as it takes a bite at you. That brings us to Mr. Bliss.
Right, Mr. Bliss's turn. He's going to move over yonder. I think can make it up to here. His walking speed is only 25, but he does spread his wings and kind of glide over here. Let's see, does that put him within 30 feet? Yeah, perfect. So he's going to expend one of his ally points to use Tactician. This allows him to, as a bonus action, perform the help action on a creature within 30 feet. He's gonna do this for Sheesh. That way his next attack has advantage. His main action will be to command... it's okay, you target the creature, not yourself. Is to command Velvet Sorrow over here to move a little closer. Because her attack... Yep, it's 20 feet. He's going to command her to attack. So that's the end of his turn, technically, and the beginning of hers, because she goes at the end of his turn. I'm doing this correct so far, I believe.
Yep.
And she does a pair of Radiant Bolt attacks. The 25, I imagine, hits
25 does hit
for 9
9
damage.
damage.
And because it hit, he's going to use the Conjurer's Smite, expending 4 of his ally points to deal an extra 4d6 damage.
Damn.
And then, if I read this right, can I use more than one ally point on an attack?
You have to do 4d6 damage.
That's true. That means when your action to command your okay, so I'm going to also use United Attack. When you use your action to command your companion, you may expend 1 ally point to make a single weapon attack as a bonus action. But because I'm a demon summoner, I can instead
You already
cast
took
Firebolt.
You already did the tactician.
Oh yeah, no, that Tactician was a bonus action.
Yeah.
Is this also a bonus action?
Yeah.
Let's see. No. United Attack uses your action. And because I used my action to command her to attack, this procs. Let me copy paste it. Tactician was a bonus action.
The single weapon attack is also a bonus action, it says right there.
Oh, does it?
Yep. So you've already used your bonus action on Tactician. So
Make a single. Oh, bonus action. Yeah, the last one. Never mind.
Yep.
I missed that last part there.
It's all good.
Okay. That's the end of my turn then.
Alrighty.
But that's 10 damage and 9 damage.
I think you're down to what's.
I had 11. I'm down to. Yeah, I used 1 for that. That. Yeah, about 6.
Alright, at the end of your turn, this boy is going to use his last legendary for the round.
There's a lot of things to keep track of with the summoner. Oh my gosh.
He is going to make a super attack against Jupe.
Oh
I
no.
think Jupe is the only one in range. Yep.
Miss.
Hits it. That brings us to its actual turn. Its legendary is back. First and foremost, it is going to activate its frightful presence. So I need everybody within 120 feet to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
No.
Oh no.
I just said I wasn't afraid of you.
I'm really bad at those. Oh.
How dare you try to prove me wrong? Oh,
I
no.
think you have advantage as a bublin.
I got a thing for this. Yeah.
I think you're right.
I specifically turned down Resilient Wisdom.
Or maybe is that just a no? Bublin, I have.
I think the base goblins all get Goblin Bravery.
Oh, they do all get that?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Then yeah.
Yeah. You get all the base goblin stuff.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Add some extra stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to Indomitable this, so I'll reroll it and take the new result.
Oh yeah. 21.
That's a little better.
Nice. Yeah. Welza and Sheesh are both fine, and you are now immune to this ability.
Oh wait, my
but,
fish has to roll too.
it does.
It's not immune to fear. It's not a thing. It's immune to.
Should my pet roll for this too?
I think it's
How many
your
do you
pet's in
have?
a cage, so it doesn't really matter. But
I also don't know if spiders can be afraid.
Oh no. I know what I was detecting and I hate it.
Velvet
Yeah,
sorrow.
spoilers.
It's not
I'm a
afraid.
spider dealer,
Oh no.
which is another one of the wonderful background things that Drake made for his flat book. That's how I have Poisoner's Kit proficiency.
What a disaster.
I
hate it.
collect them. They're my friends.
the koi fish, Welza and Sheesh are all fine and immune. Mr. Bliss and Jupe, unfortunately, are both frightened for 1 minute. But you can repeat the save at the end of each of your turns.
Uh-oh.
Classic dragon fear.
That
Along
is
with
not
that,
a fiend, therefore I fear it.
it's gonna make. It's gonna move. So one thing that you guys do notice is that this thing, it just kind of like, even though it appears to have these like kind of ooze-like wings, it does just seem to be kind of dragging itself across the ground
Oh.
quite slowly. It's gonna go over here, and it's gonna make one Pseudopod attack against Velvet Zoro and one against Jupe.
My fish! That hits.
Miss.
It's a big miss on Jupe and one hit on Velvet.
Roll the damage.
11 bludgeoning as well as 7 acid damage. Can't remember if the fiends were resistant to that or not.
Well, this is a basic summon, so it doesn't.
Oh, that's
have
right.
the-
It's just basic.
Yeah, it has no weaknesses or resistances. It's
And
also
then
really squishy.
squishy boy. It is then going to attempt to eat velvet.
Oh no! Don't eat velvet.
Uh,
To be fair, it is a fish. I am
Hey.
useless without my summon.
no, it's going to go after Jupe actually.
Uh-oh. Disadvantage. Whoa, oh no, that still hits.
Uh-oh.
For 25 points of damage.
Oh.
And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at advantage.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, fine. And once again, you can choose to either push back or to the side. It lunges forward again. That's the end of its turn.
All right. So I'm gonna unload this guy.
Hell yeah.
3 sharpshoots. That's good. Oh, there you go.
Those ones frightened me for a bit.
Well, I mean, I guess they wouldn't hit anyway, but the last one will. And I am gonna action surge, which lets me use my fighter ability. So those arrows create an opening for Jupe to stab it. So you can use your reaction to stab it.
Oh, can you give it to anyone else? Because I've already used my reaction.
Oh, yes I can. Which
Hello.
one of y'all look beefy? Yeah, you get it.
Give it to Decoy.
Can it, can, it, can it only be like a melee attack, or?
Melee or ranged. You got to be within 60 feet of me. Which you are for now, but that's gonna change.
No,
for your
I'm not.
That's 80.
I'm not. I'm 80. I'm
the
over
coin.
here in the
Who
water.
the fuck is this?
That's me.
That's Fritz. That's
Oh
Fritz's
shit. Okay.
I give it to the
Or
Decoy
his
because
fish.
my. Yeah. Give it to the
I
Decoy.
I can scoot it up a little bit.
Heck yeah.
Does that? I can't measure. There you go.
There, that's correct.
Yep.
60 feet.
There you go. All right. So I'm gonna vault out of this tree, distract it a little bit, and then you've got a spot where you can fire.
I poke my head up out of the water and shoot it.
So you had the help action for me, canceling out the disadvantage from fear. So that's a 25.
I'm not afraid,
Oh, you're not afraid. Oh, yeah, cool. Even better. So you have advantage.
so I'll roll that again. It's advantage. Maybe it'll crit. Nope.
Yeah. It's also a sneak attack.
Is it a sneak?
It's a new turn.
You have advantage.
You've got Jupe next to you.
Do I only get sneak once per turn?
It's
per
per turn, yeah.
Once per
Yeah.
turn.
Okay, yeah, I did already do my sneak attack stab earlier.
No,
before.
once
No,
per
that's per
turn, not
round.
round.
Oh.
Yeah, so getting advantage or getting reaction attacks as rogues is really good.
That's
so
fantastic.
That's
Also, I'm a
incredibly good.
swashbuckler, so I don't need to have advantage to get a sneak attack. For the record,
Yeah.
I just have to be up there. But
Ah,
time I
yeah.
do. Also, that should be a sneaky shoot, not a sneaky stab.
Boy, that is a real good sneak attack.
Yeah, it is.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bound away 10 feet, and then pew pew pew.
Ooh, damn.
Haha. Action surge.
And that's all I got. I'm also actively running away from this thing because I realize a longbow's range is 600 feet.
You don't have
Good
to be
call.
anywhere near us.
That's me.
Yeah, you riddle this thing with arrows, and it's starting to look pretty bad. You can see the gel is kind of slopping off of it. Quite frankly, you look so bad that it's going to going to burn 2 of its legendaries to do a move at half of its speed, which is a whopping 10 feet.
It sounds so wet.
It's going to attempt to engulf Velvet.
Oh no, Velvet.
So I need Velvet to make a dexterity saving throw.
I don't know if she's good at those. Let's see.
Ooh,
Oh, she did it.
You go, Velvet!
She could choose to be pushed either 5 feet back or to the side.
She'll be pushed over here.
Alright. That brings us to Jupe.
alrighty. Jupe's afraid. He's not making no attack. Just kidding. He gets one for free anyway, so he'll do this at disadvantage with this bonus action. Another bolt of stars. 19 for 9.
That'll do.
And then he's going to wheel around over next to the Healy fish and take the dodge action. And that's me.
And wisdom save.
Then,
to end
yeah,
fear?
let's hopefully get rid of this fear so I can do things. Nope.
Oh.
It's real scary. Shishka.
Okay, so question about how swim speed and regular movement speed work, especially in combat with this thing that Bublins have. Normally I have a 30-foot walk and 20-foot swim, but if I swim while in combat, it doubles to 40 feet swim. So, like, if I don't need all that to get out of the water, but if I get here, do I still have 30 feet of walking to get to that? How does that all work?
So, No. So if you move 20 feet through the water and then you switch to your run speed, you subtract the 20 feet that you've already moved from your normal run speed, so you'd have 10 feet left.
That makes me sad.
It's weird and I don't like it because the opposite would work. You could run 30 feet to water and then swim another 10 feet. It's a real weird system and it's kind of weird.
Okay, then I'm going to ask for a special ruling since this is like a racial thing for this particular thing that we're trying out in this homebrew, and it's like specifically a movement bonus for swimming that I only get in combat. I don't know, this is weird.
I mean, you can technically do it outside of combat.
Riptide?
I think so. It might actually specify in combat because it's basically just such a backseat thing. Either way, what you could do is try to leap out of the water, and I would allow you to do that.
Okay, what would that check be?
What's your strength?
8. Sure, it can't be Dex since I'm a fish.
Fortunately not. Alright, I'll say that you are able to swim to here and go kind of under the water, leap out of it 5 feet, which I'll count as your swimming movement to here. You've got 10 feet of your walking speed.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Just enough. I do all of that as you described it, very gracefully. Then I say, I told you I wasn't afraid! And I'm gonna stab it again.
Oh, hit.
Sneak attack. And then, with my bonus action, I'm going to pull out that meat carving fork and stab it with that too. Whew!
Little down.
Tooth and nail. I love it.
The crit damage, I don't think it added the 5. I have 2 weapon fighting, so I add my proficiency to offhand damage.
You don't add
Not on crits.
like
Okay,
no, not on crits.
gotcha.
Yeah, crit
Just
is
the
only
dice.
for dice.
Okay.
Alright, well, at the end of your turn, it's going to use its last legendary for the round and make a pseudopod attack.
Bring it! You brought it too hard. Yeah, I only have 16 AC. Oh no.
Who's got the highest AC in the party?
18.
18. Looks over at Lizard.
Oh wait. Oh wait. It can't attack me.
He can't.
That's what Fancy Footwork does.
It doesn't get opportunity attacks.
Oh,
But this is a
opportunity.
legendary.
Right. My bad.
Mr. Bliss.
It is I. I am feared, so I cannot approach my poor pet and pet it. I want so badly to pet it. Please, sir. I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to expend one of my ally points to do the help action and give Gilzara advantage in his first attack.
You're a hero.
And I'm going to order Velvet to use one of its healing lights to heal a Jupe.
Bless you.
And here I'm gonna roll a healing light. This is a single target. Its range is 30. And it can see you, so you're applicable. You heal 17.
Woo! Good heal. Nice.
This massive koi fish just comes over and plants its lips on yours.
Aw. Wait, right on the lips?
Oh, right on the lips.
Okay, I'm into it, I guess. Is it standing on two legs and does it have a sword?
No,
Oh, well then I'm not
It's
into
just a
it.
fish.
it's just a flying fish.
A very elegant fish.
Alright, anything
And
else?
I think that's it. Let me subtract my ally points. Because that was an action for it to do.
Yeah. Alright, let's see here.
It's gonna eat my damn fish. Oh wait, let me roll my wisdom save.
Oh yeah.
That's important, I guess, so I can move later on. Come on, my dude!
Right.
+1!
I was right on the fence of resilient wisdom and I'm regretting it real bad right now.
And that's me. I can't pet my fucking fish!
Alright,
I'm
well,
afraid no goo.
your fish is about to get hit.
Fish is gonna get it. Its AC is not very good. It's 16. It's about as much stuff. Yeah, that hits. Fish, no! I can't heal you very well. Oh shit, that's a lot of damage.
Ooh!
Oh,
It also
no!
needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
It's at 4 HP. This is terrible. Dexterity. Let's see.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Okay.
I think it makes it.
You do just make it. Unfortunately, I do need Jupe to make a dexterity saving throw too, as it gets lunges forward.
16.
Do I get an
Excellent.
opportunity attack?
You do not as part of this.
It's just pushing everyone back.
Yeah, it is like following up in Blood Bowl. And then it makes 2 pseudopod attacks, which is going to lash out at Shishka.
Please no.
Hit me. Oh,
17 hits.
This is some really bad stuff.
For 9 points on you.
Thank you for rolling low.
That brings us to Gelza.
Alright, so I'm gonna just be backpedaling away from this thing and just arcing arrows into the air as I go. So I'm gonna put as much distance as I can between me and him, so but we'll still be firing. Yeah. So this one has advantage. And the next two do not.
Damn shame.
Yeah. Still though, it's sharpshooter good.
Yeah, that sharpshooter's damage is really stacking up.
How's it looking? Is it melting?
It's looking pretty bad now.
Alright, that's all I got.
Alright, it is going to make another spot attack on Shishka with one of its legendaries.
Slap it.
Slab. So mean.
Oof.
Oh no,
that
it's
hits.
almost a crit. Almost a crit.
Not though. Ow.
How you looking? You okay?
That brings us to
I've been better.
Alright, I'm still afraid. Let's go ahead and start by using my action to return the kiss to this fish.
Recovered 12.
12 points of health as he does the cherry trick but with a star in his mouth.
What's that mean?
I wouldn't worry about it. He snowballs a star to the fish. And then he's going to use a bonus action to fire another star into this thing. Disadvantage because it's range. 20 for 6.
good.
And then, God, let's try to break this fear. Hey, there we go. Now I can do things. Alright, that's me.
Alright, Shishka.
Now you've gone and made me angry too.
I don't want John Hammond to show me the cherry trick.
Spared no expense.
Is it still up?
It is still up, but it is starting to look pretty bad.
Bonus action offhand.
Another hit.
Is it still up?
Yeah.
Action surge.
Yeah!
I'm a fighter too. Oh no.
Sword.
That hits.
That hits.
It is?
12 hits,
12
man.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then action surge is it is literally just the action. I don't get a bonus action out of it too, right?
No.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
If you have multiple attacks, then it works.
No, I'm a rogue.
Oh.
I only get the offhand because of bonus or because of my fighting style.
Oh, I thought you had like an extra attack.
No. Okay, bye. Try to hide in this tree a little bit, kinda.
Excellent. The end of your turn, it's going to it's got to go for it's got to try and chomp Jupe.
Oh no, I didn't dodge. Oh God. That hits. Woo! I would like to uncanny that.
Absolutely. And
Oh, I forgot I had that too.
Hell yeah.
make a dexterity saving throw along with Velvet.
Oh, Velvet's gonna get
Um,
swallowed the fuck up.
Hey, Drake. Since I forgot I'm a rogue and that I have uncanny dodge, can I uncanny that 17 damage from earlier?
Sure.
Thank you.
What you mean, recanny?
I've been swallowed. What's that mean?
We'll find out later. You do watch as the koi fish does suddenly get kind of stuck in some of this gel and sucked in.
Damn it, Velvet! Not again.
Mr. Bliss.
It's my turn. Can I give Velvet commands from it while it's in there?
You can still give it commands.
Okay, cool. Let's just try and go for full damage. So I'm going to command it to attack, and I'm going to use United Attack. So when I use the action to command my companion, I spend 1 ally point, and I get to cast Fireball that.
Sorry.
What?
Velvet does take 6 points of acid damage as they are absorbed.
Oh my god, Velvet's still up. Okay, so I'm going to do my thing first. Yeah, 28 for 16 fire.
Oof.
This ends my turn and goes to Velvet. But first, let me roll my wisdom. Come on, stop being afraid. Haha!
Hey.
I cannot touch Velvet, I think. I'll go up to here.
It's at the end of your turn. So
Oh yeah, it's true. Where was I? I was here.
yeah, I think there
Yeah, okay. And Velvet does 2 attacks.
does. So Velvet is currently restrained. So they would be at disadvantage.
They're disadvantaged anyway within 5 feet because they're both ranged.
True, and he's very within 5 feet.
So here they are. I think they both hit. And I'm going
yeah.
to expend 4 more uses of. That's actually all my allied points. For an extra 4d6.
Is that a short rest or a long rest kind of thing?
Short rest. For an extra 18 damage.
That was really good damage, and that was,
It was.
so close.
Oh, so close. My bean.
So
My
close
bean.
to enough. And unfortunately, at the start of its turn, poor sweet Velvet
Velvet, no. How much damage?
20 acid damage.
You watch it dissolve into fish bones.
Yeah. F's in chat.
It could have been you.
I kissed that.
And then this thing is going to. It's finished off one of you, so it's going to try and finish off Jupe.
No, stop it.
No.
Oh, God.
Alright, and to make a dex save as it tries to eat you again.
Oh my goodness.
That damage is insane.
It's going to do 2 more pseudopods on you.
Both hit.
I'm rolling really well.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I'm surprised. This is a new
It's a
feeling.
new feeling.
First takes me down, second puts me at 2 death fails.
Oh,
no.
God. Does anyone have heals? My face just bit the dust.
I do.
And at the end of its that's the end of its turn. Is to Gyoza.
I heard
Finish
Gyoza
it.
for a second there.
Yeah, I heard Gyoza too.
That's
Yeah.
what I did.
Yep, 3 arrows, and I'm still running away the entire time. Good luck, everybody.
The first one is enough. You crack
Yeah!
the thing in the skull. And as you do, you, much as its form, the kind of split forms down the front of the skull, and this thing leaps up into the air and begins to kind of flap these gel-like wings, spraying goop across the ground, and flies off rapidly.
What? Oh, it flies away.
Oh, jeez.
Mechanically,
fly.
one of the things that we're trying out here, or do you want to do it, Drake?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So mechanically, this is a hunt, which is basically my interpretation of a multi-phase boss fight, and you have beaten phase one. And essentially, my way of doing multi-phase boss fights is by giving you guys like an opportunity to kind of rest between each phase.
Hold
and
on, Jupe
kind
is dying.
do stuff like that. So, yeah, because Jupe is dying, this is a perfect opportunity, and part of the reason why I like, or I want to try and, you know, so it's not just like here's 5 hours of combat through 3 different phases of this boss.
So, important question. I think I read this somewhere, but I don't remember. So, if that thing was under the effects of any like long-lasting spells or status effects, it would still go into it affected by those, right?
Depending on the spell, yes.
Okay.
So, things that aren't going to last like a super long period of time, like kind of can't even think of anything off the top of my head. Uh, but if it had something like
I can only think of Hunter's Mark.
a bestow curse or like a hunter's mark or something that was like this'll be lasting for several hours or something,
Okay.
and if you guys pursue it immediately and hunt it down, it will still carry over those effects.
That makes sense. All right. Let's find out if
Other-
Jupe's dead. Shit, I can't even use my card. I rolled an 8. Here we go. Oh!
Oh, let's make them save the medicine checks.
Yeah, assuming we're still on initiative, I go next. I'm gonna dash over, bonus action, and I'm proficient in medicine kit, so I'm gonna at least stabilize him. I think.
Hey, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I also have the medic feat, which does a thing like out of combat over a short rest, but I don't know if it helps it already.
I thought the medic feat. what
That's
am I
the
thinking
healer
of?
feat.
Oh, healer
Healer
is what I'm
feat.
thinking of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Medic feat's different.
Gotcha. Okay.
Don't you die on me!
More fish lips just all over Jupe's face.
You're just a fish magnet.
Apparently.
That was
I do have.
not a demon.
I do have Ocean Danger's lore skill. And a fishing kit. It's destiny.
Just make sure you don't get catfished.
I get it. It's a joke. But cats and fish. Of all of the nicknames to pick up in a one-shot, Fish Smoocher is not so bad.
It's not so bad.
If we pursue right away, I don't think we're in the condition for it.
Give me a minute.
Speak for yourself. I could just chase after it.
Oh,
By all means.
I'm okay to chase. I just 60 seconds. Maybe not even that. 30 seconds. I'm going to. For everything's turned back to normal, but I'm going to go and cast a new spell and summon a constellation with, I think it's 6 stars. I forget how they nerf this spell. 1, 2, 3, 4. But spellcasting ability modifier. Oh, it's only 4. Oh, that's not great actually. I'll do it anyway. Cast Healing Spirit, constellation forms with 4 stars, which I then immediately gobble up for 46 healing.
And it is a short rest to get everything back for me. In this case, 8 hours.
Oh my god. That's terrible. I should not be doing that. I should be casting Goodberry instead. Oh no, wait, it's second level? It's only second level. That's pretty good. Alright, I do it again.
Also, you can, if you're healing outside of combat over a short rest, you can just make one of those dice to max.
Oh, really?
Since I healed you. Yeah, that's what the healer thing does.
Oh!
Medic.
It's just one of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me actually pull up the feat.
And I have to do it ahead of time. I can't, choose to turn that 1 into a 6, right?
No. It's up to the DM, probably.
I'm not missing any HP. I have still full bolts. I have a cantrip. I think I can still go. I just don't have my main mechanic.
Okay, so just to make sure, not a single fucking one of us has a healing spell.
I have several
Because,
healing spells.
Listen,
okay.
my fish still had 2 healings on it.
Had.
No,
It's dead now.
I have lots and lots of healing spells.
Okay, that's good.
As
long as
this is
someone
not
has-
this is not a short rest.
No.
if you guys want to go back to town and take a short rest and like stock up on any equipment, you can.
Hell no.
So-
Let's get one more phase in, and then if we need to rest after that, we can.
Yeah. Or run. It really depends.
Yeah, I am going to throw out one more constellation, a little more heals. You guys said you're all fine, right?
I'm fine. Yeah, I haven't taken a
Some,
single
if
hit.
you
My fish.
if you feel like any debt is owed for me saving your life before or anything like that, it would be appreciated.
Then
but I
yeah.
won't pressure you for it.
Here, have you tasted one of these? And he points to a fucking
it?
star. Here, taste one of these stars.
Oh, it tastes like ooh.
Yeah. If you don't need all 17 of that, I'll take whatever's left over.
I will probably take all 17 because I'm at 41 out of 79.
Is that a thing that you can do? You can like overflow it because it's pretty safe.
So it's technically broken into those 4 stars, 5, 6, 5, 1. So we can break those up however we
okay.
want. But if you need it all, what am I at? 16. Oh, my mana.
Yeah. I think while we're immune to the fear, we should keep going.
I agree. Let's take advantage of not having that fear. I was not able to do a whole lot at all because of that fear.
Yeah, I couldn't heal my pet because of the fear.
Yeah, I couldn't. I like switched into attack mode and then couldn't attack for the whole fight. It was terrible. Let's do it. Let's go chase that fucker.
Let's find it.
Before we do that, are you gonna summon another companion?
I can't. It takes an. Does it take like an hour, or like a whole day? Let me copy paste what it says.
Oh right, you don't have the quick summon yet.
Not yet. That's 13th level.
Right.
So
I wouldn't
you
have
never,
done it immediately.
You never will in this campaign because you cap at 10.
Hmm?
Right? Because we can't go over 10 spellcasting levels.
For wait, what?
If it's a 13th
What?
level class feature, right?
They aren't spellcasters.
Summoners aren't spellcast? I guess that makes sense.
We don't have
Yeah.
spells.
They
aside from the
literally
cantrips.
don't have any spells.
Okay, legit, cool.
We're like sorcerers with no spells.
Hell yeah, that's all. I forgot. That's fucking awesome.
So just pure meta magic. I've just been casting meta magic to do like physical shit.
That's nifty. I'm into it.
Mind you, that was my healer doing damage there. I have an actual summon that does damage.
I was gonna say that thing was tearing shit up.
Fish can be very
Oh.
deadly if applied correctly.
You do apply a lot of fish damage. Also arrow damage from our friend over here.
I was about to say, Gilza's just like shooting arrows into the rock and making like giant craters. And oh, don't worry about me. I'm here too. I'm just trying to help best that I can.
All right,
Well,
let's go chase that fucker.
I think the important takeaway from this is that we were all doing a great job. And I look over at Jupe, but I don't say anything else.
No, I get it. It's okay. Let's go do this.
This is a good team.
I'm gonna find another fish for Duke to smooch.
Just snatch it out of the water. When you kiss this one, it grants a wish.
All right. So you guys start moving through the jungle, and as you're going, I need somebody to make a survival check to track this thing.
I'm good at that.
It's not particularly difficult, but also
I'm guessing it's not going to trigger jungle fauna because it's.
I'm proficient in that survival as well. Can I give you advantage by helping you? Or do you already have advantage? Then I'll just roll second.
I can also try to help with the detect poison thing.
I don't know if I have advantage or not.
yeah, you can have
Okay.
advantage. I think you have enough
Yeah.
reasons to.
Perfect. That is a big ass fish.
Not if I had $1.
So as you guys are tracking this thing, it's fairly easy to track for the most part. It does seem to be kind of sloughing off large chunks of this kind of goo-like material. And as you're going, you do come across, kind of tucked in one of the trees, there's a particularly angry set of creatures who are all just screeching. It's extremely loud.
What is
And
going on there?
it seems like one of them has kind of, or several of them have kind of gotten hit by bits of this kind of spray. And they appear to be kind of like almost like bats, but they're very like long, they have like longer necks and a longer body and a long kind of almost serpent-like tail that's kind of furry.
What are those?
Oh, cute.
Yeah. They,
Um,
uh,
do do I recognize them? Do I know what they are? Are they animals?
they are possibly. Give me a nature check.
Can I give you animal handling?
If you want to try and like calm them down or go and see what's
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna
I will
I'm gonna join in
try
on that
to,
in a second too.
yeah, I will try to identify them with my shitty nature, but with advantage.
Excellent.
Okay.
Good shit.
Yeah. Gelza, you are pretty aware of these things. They're called shriekers, and they are technically tiny dragons that are native to the jungle here. They have a lot of bat-like qualities. They use echolocation. They usually only come out around like dusk and night, uh, but it seems that they were cluster them kind of roosting or something, and they seem to have gotten hit by this spray and have started to subsequently freak out.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
you
I'm
do
gonna try
know
to like. Oh, go ahead.
you do know that they are they can be a little bit dangerous when they start shrieking like this, and getting too close to them can cause uh, some disorientation.
Okay, about how big are they? Did you say?
They're they're very long, but they're not large. Um, like
Like a
like
snake
one
kind of
could,
thing.
yeah, like a snake. Like it could perch on your arm comfortably.
Okay. I'm gonna be real stupid. I'm gonna
Screaming snakes.
yeah, take. I'm gonna take an arrow and kind of try to like scoop one up a little bit and like bring it over
Yeah.
and like kind of like Steve Irwin show it off to the rest of the group.
Yep, I'd like to work with him and with Sheesh to again try to calm them down. Uh, See if we can get them calm so that I can potentially treat them. And I will be playing music during that whole time.
Sure. I will say one of you guys give me a animal handling check with advantage, as you're all kind of working together and all have various things to assist with this.
I would prefer not to be that person.
Okay, I've got a +7 and I'm proficient.
This is probably going to
Do
be
it.
you then. I got a 3 with a built-in
But
advantage,
I
but we've
also
already
did
got
already
advantage.
roll one up there, and I hope you don't want to take that one.
I only have performance. I don't think that's gonna be helpful here.
Do you want me to roll again? Great.
I will let you roll again.
Okay. Thank you.
Let the dice speak for themselves.
Oh, the dice have spoken.
Just cuddle around this terrible screaming snake and lullaby it.
Shh. No screams. Only dreams now.
Throw it into the IDT telegram with the picture based on.
Oh, it's adorable.
Oh, it's cute.
So yeah, it's like a cluster of like 20 or 30 of these things. But with Shisha's excellent animal handling skills, you guys are able to kind of calm them down and approach them safely without them like screaming your ears off. Um, and yeah, you guys are able to begin kind of treating them, helping remove some of the acid and kind of tend to some of the wounds.
I have lore skill for curing diseases. I don't know if that's applicable here or if this is more of just like an acid burn sort of deal.
It's more of just an acid burn. I would say that um, I'll let you make a medicine check at to advantage.
Cool. 24.
You're able to kind of tend to them pretty sufficiently. You're able to just kind of get some clean water and kind of carefully rinse off some of the acid and dilute it. And eventually, they all start to calm down. Several of them are are a little bit beaten up, but they'll survive at least. Uh, and a bunch of them start to kind of slither up back into the trees and flutter up.
Delightful.
They
Uh,
seem fine now.
I think so. I know we're kind of speeding through because one shot. I guess while we're taking care, I will also try to speak with animals up and see if they even count for as animals. It sounds like they're dragons, so they probably don't.
Uh, they're they're beast dragons. I'm kind of playing with multi-class
Hell
and
yes.
creatures a little bit more.
God bless. I'm so glad they finally made that shit like official-ish. Cool. Then as we're working to soothe it and to treat their wounds, I will kind of ask, like, did you see which way it flew? Do you know anything about it? Do you know how it fights? Is there anything you can tell us? Or at the very least, do you know where it lives or which way it went?
Uh, they kind of speak in this very like chittery voice that I can't do, but they essentially tell you that they give you a direction which is kind of vaguely kind of to the northwest of where you guys currently are. Uh, and they say that it tends to be hanging out kind of around the big rocks and the smelly pools.
Cool.
They mentioned that they're very upset because a lot of the uh, bugs have been starting to scatter and go to other hunting grounds because they don't have any food around all the withered trees and stuff.
All right. Well, we're gonna do what we can to get the place cleaned up. Take care of yourselves. Be nice to other adventurers if you see them.
They thank you very much, and they agree to your deal. They will not go shrieking at adventurers to try and steal their goods anymore.
We did it. All right. Let's go chase this fucker down to the big rocks and the stinky pools.
All right, you guys continue carrying on. Uh, and true to their word, you do come across what appears to be a set of large stones uh, that are broken and tattered, but clearly appear to have been carved at one point. And hanging out on one of them is this large acidic dragon thing that is currently seemingly trying to catch its breath.
There it is.
Okay. So how far away are we?
Uh, you're maybe 120-ish feet away,
Ooh.
Okay.
maybe 150.
Cool. I'm gonna take a position from here. And just let me know when you guys are ready.
Yeah. Do you guys want to try to get the jump on it? I can help us sneak
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna sneak up to 120 feet away, and I'm gonna stay there for now.
As we're sneaking up, I will cast a spell, and everybody turns into a weird kind of darkened, barely starlit form as I cast. Fuck, what is it? Pass Without Trace.
Ooh, it's +10 to stealth, right?
+10 to stealth.
Nice. I'm gonna pass without trace in the other direction and find the highest tree that I can climb up.
Good call.
I'm gonna go semi other direction.
Notably, if you
I'm
get
gonna-
too far from me, you lose the Pass Without Trace.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You're good on your own, yeah.
I'm gonna be far-ish, like 120 feet, because I'm kind of a liability nearby. Can't
Legit.
do anything.
I think I'm the. Well, me and Fishbro, we've got melee covered. We'll
Let's
do what
stick
we can.
together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good luck. We'll provide cover fire.
Appreciate it. I will also preemptively throw on my second starry form as we approach.
Perfect.
So,
This is
so my,
exactly where one.
yeah, my idea is to get up as high as possible. Like, I ignore cover except for full cover, but I still want to have as decent a shot as I can.
There's plenty of very tall jungle trees, and you are basically built for climbing them. It's very easy for you to make your way up to a pretty decent vantage point.
Yeah. Would I be obscured from where I am here? Should I climb up higher?
Uh, you're definitely not obscured there, unless you like really hunker down in those plants.
I mean, like, do I have an obstructed shot at that thing?
Oh, a little bit, just because this there's kind of like a rocky outcropping around here
Yeah.
that kind of juts up about. It kind of slopes up about 15 feet or so. So currently you can see it because it's kind of resting on this stone head that is sunken into the ground. But if it, say, moved down here, it would be hard to see.
Yeah. Would you say climbing this tree here? Well, by climb I mean I fly up to the very top of it and perch on top. Kind of.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. A lot of these trees in this area are starting to kind of wither. It's very clear that you can see like a lot of the leaves have fallen. The branches are a bit more brittle, um, but you can fly, and uh, Yelza is able to climb and knows how to kind of hang in branches and make sure that they're sturdy and that sort of thing. So both of
Yeah.
you can do so comfortably.
It seems like this used to be an encampment, no?
It does. You can see bits of ruin and rubble from some kind of an old structure that would have been here.
The two hands doing the water goatsy.
All right, we'll wait for everybody to get in place, and then we'll try to sneak up and get the jump on it.
All right, Shika and Jupe, give me stealth checks.
Just
35.
a casual 35. 25.
9.
Okay.
You guys are able to get very close, kind of creeping up around these rocks and kind of staying out of line of sight as it kind of rests and perches here.
Assuming that I can stay in the water to kind of keep out of line of sight, but also since I have superior sneak, can I just get like right up here? It lets me move half movement without being revealed as long as I'm hidden first.
You have to also end your movement in cover.
I mean, I'm in the water.
Yeah. You can definitely kind of run up here kind of for your first turn.
Cool.
And spring.
All right, everybody roll initiative.
Alert is a good feat.
It's very good.
It is.
Oh, I'm just not realizing I'm supposed to be adding... Oh, I didn't get a bonus to it anyway. Just kidding. Okay. Alert is a very
Yeah.
good feat.
I did the same thing last encounter, and then I was like, oh wait, I don't have,
I don't have
a
charisma.
modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah. My charisma is 11.
Yeah, same. Do we have identical stats? What are your stats?
Should you all had the same array?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I have 8 strength, 20 dex, 14 con, 10 int, 16 wisdom, and 11 charisma.
How did you get... Oh, you took an ASI. Okay.
Yeah, I took an ASI and then I took medic to get the
That
wisdom.
makes sense.
I took the ASI to get the 20 dex and I think the con up to 14 instead of 13. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, we're real close.
Yeah.
Just need initiative from Mr. Bliss.
I did. Did it not
Oh,
turn
you
up?
might not have selected your token.
Also,
God damn it.
that was a dexterity saving throw.
It's deck save.
Oh, that makes sense. Fucking here. There you go.
Not that I really needed you guys to roll initiative since you rolled a 1, but here we are.
And he's surprised, hopefully.
Kicking things off, Galza, you see your companions getting in position, ready to strike, and you're first to react.
Cool. All right. Well, the rest of them will see these 3 arrows just slowly arc across the horizon. For reference, the Space Needle is about 600 feet, and that's the distance on which I can shoot.
With
First one,
perfect accuracy, too, because of sharpshooter.
right.
It's fucking nuts.
First one has advantage because I'm hidden. Fantastic.
Oh, no.
Well, 1 hit, probably, maybe.
Guess how much AC this thing has?
8.
Is it 8?
No, it's 9.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It does mean that the first one hits.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all I got. So I do really like having different arrows and stuff. So like having like silver arrows and explosive arrows and everything like that. And that really kind of gets the Monster Hunter vibe too, because like the crossbows have all the different elemental stuff.
So many different kinds of ammo that are so weird, and they confuse me, and that's why I don't play any of those weapons. That's why I use the charge blade or the insect glaive.
See, I can't. I mean, I've already complained about Monster Hunter, but like when I do play, I play bowgun because I'm
can get
dumb and it's the easiest for me to grok.
I do like the just like regular bow, but I don't like the bow gun
Well, that's fair.
because I love those power shots. You know, that shit makes me happy. Anyway, back
Yeah,
to not Monster Hunter.
That's me.
Excellent. Because I don't know how to DM or play this game. Legendary actions still count as actions, right?
I believe they do, yes. So I don't think he can do it until he's
Okay,
taken
so
his
it
turn.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought, but
Otherwise,
figured I might try and cheese it.
yeah, I feel like then you just wouldn't ever be able to surprise anything with legendaries.
Right, it would just be a weird
Yeah.
caveat. But anyways, Mr. Bliss.
I am hidden, so I'm going to cast with advantage a firebolt, or a fiend fire in this case.
Excellent. That'll hit.
For not very much, but hey, I'm revealed.
Hey,
And that's me.
Better than nothing. Brings us to Jupe.
Look at the roll, 333.
All right. Let's do it. Let's run the fuck up here and pull out a tiny ass little dagger. But then it's gonna gleam and light up, and I'll do a booming blade. $31 points. With Swashbuckler, I then immediately step back so that I'm no longer in melee with this thing, and as a bonus action, I point the dagger again, and a star shoots at the tip of it for an additional 9 points of damage. And then I will move back in close range with it.
Excellent. Sheesh.
Doing my best not Slark impression again. I spring for actually real quick. Is poison like an item interaction or what is that?
To poison a weapon?
Yeah.
It is an action, unless you have the poisoner feat.
Okay. While we were sneaking up, would I have had time to apply poison?
Sure.
Thank you. So I'll leap out of the water, pulling out my carving set again, and I attack.
And it'll hit.
I really appreciate the tooth and nail pun, by the way.
Thank you. Have some poison.
Poison seems to do nothing.
Oh no! Alright, bonus action, I'll offhand.
That'll hit though.
Cool. I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Excellent. All right, its turn. It's surprised and can't do anything.
Hooray!
We did it. I'm
Brings
so
it-
proud of it.
Brings them back to Yelza.
Fire in the hole.
Rain hell.
This is. I think you have the opposite of Cole's luck on this one-shot character.
Yeah, seriously, jeez.
I mean, Mr. Oh, the -5 will do nothing.
I didn't say that.
I said
No,
that.
I'm not
sorry.
saying Beck is constantly like, oh, the -5 isn't a penalty to great weapon and
Okay,
sharpshooter.
okay, but those are two natural ones.
Yeah. I mean, it over time, like someone did the math on it, like it will do a shitload more damage than just
Yeah.
regular attacking, but
Like it is
it's
hard damage increase, but
Yep, it's definitely fucking me good.
that being said, thankfully for you, this thing's news and it only has 9 AC, so you know.
Real feeling.
I think as long as you don't roll a fucking
Two.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
1 or 2,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, 2 of those still hit for a bunch of damage.
Now it can do legendary.
Yeah, thank God, because we're tearing through this phase real quick. Oh shoot, I actually forgot. Because this is a new phase, I do need.
Babies, acid babies.
Jupe
Babies
takes 6
everywhere.
points of acid damage as you stabbed the
Oh.
thing. You can see that in its kind of desiccated state, it's literally unable to hold itself together, and any damage seems to be causing it to spurt bits of acid.
That's not good.
Oh no.
Which also means that she
Yeah.
should also take 5 points of acid damage.
That's not so bad.
And then for real, on its legendary turn, it's going to spend. Yeah, it's going to spend 1 legendary action. To spawn a little baby ooze.
Uh-oh. Not a fan of that.
And they go on initiative count 20. Which is right now. So he is going to make an attack at Jupe.
God damn it.
Significantly less. 10 damage.
Ooh.
Which is 7 bludgeoning and then 3 acid.
Alright.
This thing lashes a pseudopod at you.
My character sheets all have icons now.
That brings us to Mr. Bliss.
No advantage in this. I'm no longer hidden.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Frisk.
Fuck it up.
Demon.
999.
Nines.
3 9s. Last time it was 3 3s.
You're really leaning into the devil worship here.
Where I need
He's,
3
he's a bat.
sixes.
No, you're a bat. It's okay.
Oh, that's fair.
Because you're upside
What?
down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Then, at the end of... unless you have anything else, Mr. Bliss.
Oh no, that's it. Unless it moves, I doubt it. So that's me.
Alright, at the end of your turn, this thing is going to, you watch as its body, which is kind of failing to hold itself together, suddenly just collapses. The bones kind of scatter across the stone, and the ooze suddenly just expands rapidly.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no, you're gonna melt, guys.
I need both Jupe and Sheesh to make dexterity saving throws.
Do I get any advantage on this because I'm technically like below it and in the water?
No.
The
I
ooze
was gonna
isn't
ask
water
the same
soluble?
thing.
It does explicitly just kind of reach towards you.
Oh no.
So both of you, actually I lied. Only Sheesh, not Jupe.
Oh, thank God.
Sheesh, you were pulled 15 feet closer to this.
Oh god.
And because
oh
that
no.
would
Oh no.
end you closer to it as its ooze suddenly retracts rapidly, all its bones kind of collecting again. I do need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage or be subjected to its engulf. Ah, you son of a bitch.
Woo!
Rogue save.
Fortunately, it do end just outside of it. You do manage to kind of pull away from its grasp before it can pull you in completely.
Hey, buy me a drink first.
And that brings us to Jupe.
Okay, I'm real glad this thing hasn't started flying. Let's start with another. I'm gonna take 8 damage. That's fine. I'll take another booming blade on the big guy first.
What hits?
6 points of retaliation damage, I think.
Yep.
But that means that I can step away without an opportunity attack. And I'm gonna wheel around to here and fire.
Aren't you starry forming?
I am starry for him. Yep.
Because you have a range attack, right?
I do, but I need to get away from this thing first, so I had to make a melee attack first.
That's fair.
I haven't seen this little guy attack, have I? Oh wait, I have. He's shitty.
You literally got hit by it in the face.
I did. He rolled pretty well. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna step away.
All right. Both of them are going to take pseudopod attacks at you.
The big guy
Only
cannot.
only the baby can. He's got swash.
Oh, that's right, Swashbuckler.
Fancy footwork.
Oh god.
Damn it!
What's wrong with you?
Why are you rolling like this today, Dre?
Because we're beta testing.
What happened? You changed.
I'm just gonna fucking die. Okay.
You're not the
Oh,
DM I fell in love with. You're scary.
All right. I'm gonna fire the yeah, I'll go and fire the starry bolt at the big guy again. 24 for 6.
Don't do that.
I will and I shall and I have.
Bonus action.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Takes another 6 points of radiant damage.
Um,
It's looking pretty bad. You can see just goop spilling out of it.
Sick. And then I'm going to use my Tabaxi Dash equivalent to run over here. And because I've used my Tabaxi Dash equivalent, it also doubles my jump distance. And I'm just going to leap at this tree and climb as far up the trunk as I can. Claws come out and I start skittering.
Squirrel monkey.
Tiny little monkey.
You coward.
I'll be back, maybe.
That's fine. I don't need you. I don't need anybody.
All right, Shishka.
Swashbuckler. You don't really need anybody.
I was going to say, should be okay. I'm realizing we have no frontliners. Like, we have
no.
rogues, but not frontliners.
Hey, you were. Technically, we do have frontliners, except I can't summon them.
Yeah,
Okay, like I know I still hit his AC, but a nat one always misses, right?
correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an automatic miss, unfortunately.
Damn shame. Bonus action offhand.
It'll hit.
I assume I'll take a little bit of damage back, but that's fine. Whew.
God, that sneak damage is so good.
Yeah, you guys are chewing through this thing.
And with that, I'm going to jump into the water.
Good idea.
We
And
can
since
run
I hit the
too.
water, okay, so like we how does swimming after regular movement work?
You just cut off your whatever you moved prior to getting into the water from.
Okay, so I have 40 feet of swim speed if I swim during combat, so I have 25 feet left since I.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going up shit creek here. Try to get back to the hand. I'll submerge a little bit to see if it'll help be
Yeah.
sneaky.
Try and get a little bit of.
A little bit of distance.
All right. Well, this thing really only has one more option. Because both you fuckers have vanished.
Just a measurement.
Everyone's so far away, and this thing doesn't have a lot of movement. It's gonna come over here, shove the little ooze out of the way. It does take booming
back.
damage.
Oh.
Oh, it does, yeah. I like to imagine there's a little star that lingers at the point of the impact, and then... Where the fuck did I put it? There it goes.
Nice.
Ooh, cutting it close. I do need. This thing rears its head back, and then vomits a gout of acid up into the tree.
Oh, god damn it.
And I do need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no, that's one below what you needed.
Wait, let me see. Let me check how this feat is worded. Do I have to declare it ahead of time, or can I replace it with my card, the Fate Weaver card?
Oh god. Look, I worded that.
Feat, chapter 6. Replacing. You can use.
Yeah, you can just replace it if you want.
Hell yeah, then that is a 16 instead.
Excellent. And you're rogue enough to turn this to 0, right?
I sure am. Wait, no.
Holy
Fuck, I'm
heck.
not.
You're
God
not
damn it.
rogue enough to have evasion?
I'm not rogue
Hell
enough
yeah.
to evasion. I'm
Class.
one level short.
You fool!
You've doomed yourself.
I might live. I might survive.
You've paid for your own hubris!
I don't even know what I got out of it.
Alright,
You just hear egg bubbling from the creek.
so you take half of this.
Oh, oh.
Half of it. Half of it.
Half of it.
That's a fireball damage. So
Just a casual fireball.
60-foot cone of acid. Oh, sorry. This is actually a line, so it just sprays a line up into the tree at you.
Okay.
I'm over here. It looks like it's vomiting. I'm like, yeah. I'm glad I'm not over there.
This thing has some cool abilities that it's not going to get to use. I'm sad. But that's its turn. Gilza.
This shit.
Good shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, with that, those two are enough to cause this thing's body to suddenly and rapidly kind of disperse, exploding into a spray of goo and bones.
This is the third one. That still hits.
Yeah, you pepper this thing, and then you watch as the skull begins to hop away and rapidly flies off.
Right. So I can keep going to find that skull, but you guys look like you could use some rest.
I just need like a short breather. I would benefit from a rest overnight just because I would get my star forms back. But like, I've still got mana. I've still got things I can do. I got tricks.
Yeah, the thing gets more dangerous every time it gets away. We might not be so lucky this time.
Um,
It
it-
seems like we would benefit from someone meaty in the front. I have someone just for that.
Oh, that is a convincing argument. If we can get a frontliner out, that would be really, really nice.
Lucas has agreed that patience is a virtue, and he and I both think that we should probably take a rest.
Wait,
Who's
Lucas.
Lucas?
Who's Lucas?
Oh,
Do you have little
Sheesh
demon
reaches,
friends too?
Sheesh reaches into his vest or whatever he's wearing and pulls out a teeny tiny little bottle, and it just has a brightly colored jumping spider in it.
Oh God, no!
Oh, it's adorable.
Oh, look at him. He's cute. Fuck you, Philo.
Just the mirror reaction immediately. That was great.
Dry heave immediately.
Out of character. Oh God! And then, oh, it's cute. Love it.
So here's the question: should we go back to town? Should we camp out here, or should we investigate this area for loot?
I feel like it might be a good idea to stay close to its trail so we know where it goes so we don't lose it. I have a handful of tools that'll make it easier for us to camp nearby without being spotted by it.
Here's the thing. This used to be some sort of camp. Let's see if there's something we can salvage.
Sure, we'll take a look around and see if there's anything interesting here. Do I have... I don't have detect magic or anything super useful up. I'll just get the poison back up.
I'm just gonna investigate the area, even though I'm not trained in it. Would that suffice?
Here. Let me help
Sure,
the only way that I can.
Sure, I have a +0 to this. If anyone is better at this, please speak up.
I'm not, but I can still help you. I will shuffle a deck of cards, draw one, and hand it to you. And as soon as you touch it, it dissolves into sparkling light, and it fades into your skin, and it leaves your hands feeling lotioned and moist, and it smells a little bit like aloe.
Are you a salesman?
Not
Because
anymore.
I'm buying it.
Not anymore.
Oh, well, what did it do?
Guidance, D4.
Okay. It's 9. +4. So 13. I'm rummaging for stuff that might help. This smells nice. Hands have never felt so moisturized. Look at this. What is this shit?
Magic.
This hibiscus? The sandalwood? Lilac?
Hey, can I get some of that?
Sure, yeah. Just shuffle the deck and flip through it again.
I'm now imagining you with, like, you know those squirt bottles of lotion with the pump?
Yeah.
Oh, Kingdom's there now.
He is. I imagine this is like a 3-phase thing. If people gotta drop, they gotta drop. That's totally fine, but I'm down for a little longer. He actually got here earlier than I expected to. I thought he was showing up around 9.
You guys do find 5 silver arrows,
Excellent.
and for the sake of expediting things and for making sure that we can kind of thoroughly test a couple of things, and to kind of speed things along, I'm going to say that you guys are able to kind of return to town really quickly, kind of resupply, rest. You guys can take a short rest, and then head out and return to where you were once forth.
I think our intention was to camp out here anyway, so it's faster even. Or was that like not feasible because there's monsters that will murder us?
Either way works. It's a one shot. But I do I have talismans that would have helped us camp nearby if we did it.
Cool. But yeah, this time we summon who is the tankiest? The Elder or Silver Moon?
Today's lucky card is good.
Better.
Who's gonna heal? Is anybody healing?
Oh, if I'm tanking, I can't heal.
No, I mean, is anybody gonna heal over this short rest?
Like spending hit dice, yes.
Okay, let me touch you for a second.
Yeah, sure.
I come up and I grasp either side of your head with my horrible little clammy fish goblin hands.
He's already making the kissy face.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you.
One of your hit dice can now just be whatever the max is.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Who else is gonna heal? Okay, I'm gonna kiss myself.
69.
I did it.
Alright.
Okay, summoning. Right, we've established this thing is immune to poison. So
Yeah,
we're going.
unfortunately.
Yeah, he's going. He's going to summon the Elder.
Oh, hey, Jupe, what's your max HP?
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I am.
It's 69.
Ha! Nice.
Nice.
I'm still a better rogue than you, though.
You are, like, objectively. Because
I also have 79 HP.
you have more levels of rogue.
Well, that too. It's also just a state of mind.
Probably. I imagine Jupe is probably not actually super roguelike. He's just a swashbuckler and he fights dirty, which is all I guess it really takes to
That's
be a
fair.
rogue. Is he the least rogue that I put? No, that'd be Cricket.
It's kind of roguey.
Is he? He kind of is. You're right.
All right. So, for the sake of kind of speeding things along, unless anybody else is spending hit dice, you guys are able to start following the trail, and you guys find that the further, like, kind of deeper you follow this thing, the worse and worse the forest gets. You're quickly kind of surrounded in areas where there are literally no leaves on the trees. Everything is wilted and barren. All the grass has died. It's just dirt and stone and sickly pools of green, stagnant water.
Gross.
And
Lucas wanted
eventually,
me to tell you guys that he doesn't like it here. I don't either.
I don't either.
Same.
and eventually, you guys find the center of this area. There are 5 pools of foul-smelling water surrounded by dead trees, and in the center is a pulsing green mass that is pulsing in rhythmic, heaving motions.
Ugh.
I don't like it.
As we approach it, before we get into combat, I'm going to throw a protection from energy on myself. And I will
Absolutely.
choose acid on a hunch,
makes
just a
sense.
little hunch.
What would give you that idea?
Likewise, before we start our spring, I will throw up a starry form. Am I proficient in con saves? You know what? I might actually do. What does this one do?
Before we go in, who's going to be straight up in its face?
Me.
Probably me, unfortunately.
Which one has the less HP?
69.
Probably
I've got
him.
less.
Okay, which one has the less AC?
18.
Me.
Okay,
I have 16. I don't believe in shields.
that's fair.
They disappoint me.
Then this shield will just disappoint you as well.
I mean, if it protects me without me having to use a hand for it, I would greatly appreciate it. See, my problem in life is that I just never felt like I had enough hands. So I really like what you've got going on.
Is
Yeah.
that why you? Is that
Look
why
at-
you
where
collect
is
the?
that?
Is that why you collect the spiders?
No,
Yeah, maybe.
they also just they're good listeners.
Are you sure you don't envy them?
Yeah.
I do envy it a little
And-
bit, but like spiders can't actually hold anything with their hands. They're just.
Are you kidding? Have you seen the tiny
mean,
little
you
hair
can't-
follicles on their tips? They
I
can
mean,
hold
yeah,
a whole
but you
wall.
can't hold a dagger
Guys.
with that.
Okay.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the healer. You get the shield.
Thank you.
This is a warding bond.
Oh, God bless. 2 AC.
Let's see what it does
Fuck
by
yes.
clicking.
Plus 1 AC,
I-
+1 to all saves,
There we go.
I guess I'll just die then.
and you have resistance to all damage.
Oh,
No, it's okay. He'll heal you.
I've lived a good
if
life.
I have resistance to all damage, then here you take this, and I will put the protection from energy on you instead. So you have resistance to acid damage now.
I
There.
could kiss you again.
Everyone is happy now, and us, the guys who have range, will stay away.
What a wonderful party.
I'm actually gonna fly over here, like upward. I will put the number 3 on me to indicate I am 30 feet up.
Okay, Jupe, do you think we maybe shouldn't fight it in those really gross-looking pools?
I don't know if we're
As
really
much
gonna
as the
have-
water benefits me, I don't want to go in that water.
Yeah, we should probably be careful about touching it. With that said, you do have some protection against acid, so we'll play it by ear.
Yeah, but do you think we should sneak up on it or try to lure it closer a little bit?
You are a fish. Can't you not swim in it?
I can swim in it, but you can smell that water, right?
Not really. I have no nose.
We can like.
It's not good.
Are we gonna be able to lure it out of this anyway? Like, what do we? What
Yeah. Would it want to? Like,
I was gonna
I don't
say, I feel like we have to kind of chase it down. Its instinct might just be to run because it's nearly dead. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
have to go to it. We should be careful about getting in that water for sure.
Yeah, I guess my big thing is like if it's. I was hoping we could maybe like, have it chase us up to here at least, maybe, so we have some more land
Yeah, we can
to
certainly
fight
try
with.
to.
I will.
We can try to go to that way. Like we're both swashbucklers. We can both dip in,
Yeah.
hit it, and run back.
But yeah, I'm gonna do a thing on my first turn, or possibly before we take our surprise round if we get one to set up a thing in that general area,
For sure.
and maybe try to lure it over there. Should we roll stealth again if we're sneaking up on it?
Yeah. Also, I need all of you guys to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
oh no.
Uh-oh.
Even being as far back as I am,
Get the bad smell.
I'm fine.
Even him with no nose?
Even him with no nose.
My no noseness saved me. Let me roll for
You can
my
kind of
elder.
taste it still a little.
I can still taste the back of my throat. It's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Oh no, the elder.
The foul scent of decay and just that like acidic smell is just filling your nose and making it very difficult to breathe. Sheesh and Jupe, both of you gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh jeez.
Oh.
This is not like a every turn kind of a thing. This is over like the
Right.
the
Traveling
travel
this
time,
terrain.
the
Yeah.
travel time from
Ah.
outside of this thing's like layer, so to speak, to the center of it.
Can I be a real bastard?
No,
But
but go on.
Okay, so I'm a bublin. I can hold my breath for a number of minutes equal to 10 plus my constitution modifier. If I would have detected that this was going to be some bad shit to breathe early, could I try to hold my breath?
That's actually very fair, and I will let you roll again.
Cool. So I can hold my breath.
We'll just treat this as if you had advantage. So.
Cool.
This is probably also a bit of a stretch, but I'll go for it. I am an expert in medicine with a lore skill proficiency in curing diseases. Does that help me at all at not getting diseased by this or at dealing with it?
It's not so much that you're being diseased, it's just that it's very hard to breathe, and just the lack of kind of oxygen that you're able to get is starting to kind of wear on you from
Cool.
being here.
That's legit.
Just tear your nose off like me.
Oh,
did-
shit.
Oh
How
no,
did
sheesh.
do that?
Oh, it happened like in adulthood. It's just a thing my people do.
Did it just like fall off?
And more like peeled open.
Oh,
Ugh.
that sounds awful. But I've also never had a nose anyway. So.
Excruciating.
As a nose bearer, it sounds awful.
Fortunately, one level of exhaustion isn't too bad.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be doing stealth checks here anyway.
Not particularly well. And we also don't have passes out trace for this one.
I don't need it.
There also isn't a ton of room to hide here. Not
Yeah.
a lot to hide behind.
Shall we roll initiative?
I'm very short.
Oh,
Let's get
it's the-
some initiative going.
Oh, that's a terrible initiative.
it's okay. You will be safe. Arrows for the win.
Oh yeah, I'm just an artillerist here. Don't worry about me. I've got like shit. So if we got a melee, like if I
Yeah.
was melee,
You're
I'd be
stuck in a
okay.
room
Yeah,
with
this,
someone,
this is like my favorite terrain. Like there are trees and shit that I can just perch up in. I'm
and
doing
you
fine.
can just be far away because it's an open
Yeah.
area. This is perfect for you. Oh, it's my turn.
It
Uh,
is, but this thing has a special ability that when it rolls initiative, 1d6 oozes spawn.
Oh, gross. I don't like that.
You only got a 2 though, so they're just gonna be here.
Okay, cool. So Mr. Bliss is gonna fly kind of over here. He's flying 30 feet above ground. He's going to order him, Mr. Eller. What is this? This is water, right?
Murky, gross, acidic bog water.
It's liquid.
Cool. He's just gonna get this guy.
It doesn't smell or look like water.
That's fair. That's very fair. He's just gonna order this guy to go here, and then dash until he is here, 60 feet, because his movement speed is 30, so it's right in front of it.
All right. Getting right up in space.
Yeah. That's me. That's him. Doesn't attack though, so I don't get my bonus fucking thingy. I technically ordered him to dash. Oh, it's lair action now.
It has a lair action because you're in its lair.
Oh no.
How do
I
we,
used to have a lair.
how do we want to do this?
I used to have a ship.
I sleep in motel. Is that a lair?
You. How high are Chish and Jupe in that tree?
I was just behind it. Like I'm ground
Okay.
level. Yep.
You guys are just behind it.
Yeah, I don't have a climb speed or anything, so I'm probably just hiding behind it.
Then I need Jupe, Sheesh, and the Blood Pack Demon to make strength saving throws.
Strength saving
No,
throws.
no.
Strength saving throws.
Oh my god, I rolled okay.
I
My god, you did it.
rolled a 13.
Alright, the Elder and Sheesh.
Just one below. Oh gosh, you got pushed into the, get pulled into the fucking.
Strange tentacles rise up out of the pool, lash around both of their waists, and pull them into it.
Oh god.
This is fine.
As each of you enter it, both of you take 11 points of acid damage. So Sheesh takes half of that because of the
Fine.
resistance.
That'd be 5 then?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the opposite of fine.
And that brings us to Sheesh's turn.
Put me down, you scallywag.
You're released the second you are pulled.
Oh, okay.
It just kind of pulls you in and then just kind of lets you drown in the acid.
Nope, I swim out. Gonna swim right here. About ballsy fuck. I'm gonna attack it.
That hits.
Yeah. Is it still spurting? Oh yeah.
It is.
Okay. Ugh. But that's also just like 2 damage now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna attack it again.
That'll hit.
Cool.
1 point of damage. The end of your turn.
Oh no, I'm still running.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, wait, maybe I can't because I had to use. Okay, I used 25 feet of swim, so I only have like 5 feet of movement.
Yeah.
If I walk, or if I jump back into the water, do I get more?
You jump back into the water, you have 10 more feet of movement.
But I also then take damage from going back in the water.
Correct.
Just kind of step aside and stand my ground and hope I don't get swallowed.
All right.
Please help.
I also forgot a thing because at the end of the layer action, these things are supposed to move, so they are going to slowly come forward. Why did I think the oozes were going to be a good boss monster?
It's good to test shit on because they're slow.
You know what? This one's going to come over for the demon.
Do it, man. That misses.
I think misses.
Yeah. It's AC 17.
This one is going to dash up to Jupe. And then at the end of Shisha's turn, he's going to use a legendary action.
Does it
Spawn
have to?
another ooze.
Oh no.
And that'll bring us to Jupe turn.
Okay. You're right there. That'll work. Okay, I'm gonna move away from this thing, so it'll take an opportunity attack probably. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna fling a finger over, and I will start with my bonus action on the main boss.
Don't worry, guys. I never left.
He's back. But then I'm gonna follow that up with a full ass spell. And this time there is just a whole ass meteor that flies into this thing. Where is it? Here you are.
Astrologer. Or astronomer.
Fuck!
Yes!
Son of a bitch! I can't. Can I use my card to replace an @1?
Your Fate Weaver thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick! Then I'll go and make that hit. So that is 13 plus some amount. For 18 points of radiant damage, and then stars illuminate the whole thing, and the next person to attack it has advantage.
Heck.
That's a good combo.
So we're good. Before anyone else can do things, another thing spawns. And now it's Gelza's turn.
All right. So I am way too far away to get the Commander Strike bonus, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put my first one with advantage. Actually, we're just gonna put all three against big guy. I think
But he's soft and squishy.
it's soft and squishy.
He's a snot
Um,
monster.
Actually, let's do one here to get my advantage from being hidden, and then one there for the advantage for guiding bolt.
Good call.
So first one will be against this ooze.
That'll hit.
Okay, and then everything else is going against the big guy. Ugh. And then action surge, do it again. See how simple things can be when you play a fighter? It's nice. You don't have to like.
It's great. You just press the same
push
button
button.
5 times and
Yeah,
you do
same button.
so much damage.
That's
Yeah,
why I
it's
miss
really
Philo so
good.
much. A Ranger is basically the same.
God, you tear this thing into pieces. Ooze and acid are just flying everywhere. Bits of bone are being chipped off.
None of that is splashing on me, right?
No, fortunately,
Okay.
it only hits the person attacking it if they're within 5 feet. It will, at the end of your turn, make a pseudopod attack at Sheesh.
Don't. Please. Plus 10?
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, that hits.
You can use a reaction.
It is weaker now.
You want to have that?
You have resistance to acid.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the 7 for now. I'm still doing all right. I'll save my reaction for if something hits me harder than that.
So you don't have full resistance to everything. So you take,
I do resist acid though.
yeah, so it would be 11 points of damage.
Oh, it's not just acid now. Okay.
Yeah, the d4 plus 5 is bludgeoning, and then the 2d6
Gotcha.
is the acid.
So 11 damage.
So 11 damage.
I'm still alright.
That brings us to the top of its turn.
Oh boy.
And it is going to do some stuff.
Please reconsider.
It really doesn't get a lot of turns or a lot of actions in this phase. So it's gonna try and bite you.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, God, these rolls, Drake. Stop it.
It's a plus 10. It'll
14 bludgeoning. Plus 3 acid.
I'll uncanny I'll uncanny that. So
1 acid and 7 bludgeoning.
yeah.
Alright. Then I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Damn it.
I'm really good at those.
It's going to choose not to
Usually.
move. That brings us to Mr. Bliss.
Cool. Is this difficult terrain?
The like acid pools.
Mhm.
It's deep enough to be water, so you'd be swimming.
I think he can make it here, right? If I order him to move forward and like attack.
Yeah, he could make it.
I'm gonna move myself over here. I'm still in the air. And I'm going to order him to move over here. He's gonna proc an AoE from this guy. I mean AOO. So just wait for a hit. That misses.
Miss.
Yeah. And he's gonna do a bunch of attacks. He's probably gets splashed by acid, and that triggers my Own attack. -1 ally point. And let's do it. So it'll be me first, I assume, because I commanded him to attack.
Yeah, so you go first.
Fiend fire. Crap. 30 damage.
Look at that crit damage, though. What the fuck?
Is
Feel
it
good?
10-4?
It is going to. Yeah, it's going to use its absorb damage ability.
Oh, that's fair.
So it's going to burn one of its legendaries to turn that to 0.
Oh no. But wait, there's more.
I don't doubt it.
The Elder attacks now, and it attacks twice? With 2 claws, for 25 and 20. For 7 and 14 damage. It takes the acid damage, I imagine?
It does.
So let's roll those.
For 10 points of acid damage.
Ow. And because this thing damaged him, he hellish rebukes it.
Oh, shit. Risk, this thing is 9 AC. How much dex do you think it has?
I don't know. It's 13.
Not a lot.
Oh, -1. 13 fire damage, and that's all it does.
Well, that was a lot.
So this is the one you wanted to see playtested specifically, the Blood Pact Demon.
It's one of them, yeah.
So I gave it durability because it seems like it needs the extra health.
That's a good call.
So that's it. That's my turn. That's all of it.
All right. God. Well, at the end of your turn, it's gonna spend one of its legendaries to make a pseudopod attack at the Blood Pact Demon.
No, that's fair. 2 hits. Christ.
For 19 points. And that brings us to the layer action. For the layer action, let's do this on Jupe. Suddenly, the pool kind of next to your left, Jupe, begins to bubble and boil, and suddenly a glob of acid shoots out towards you.
God damn
God,
it,
that's
Tree.
so close.
That's all. Shit. Holy heck, great.
Oh,
Oh my god.
23 acid damage, halved.
halved, yep.
So then the Blood Pact Demon takes the other half.
Mm-hmm. 11?
Yeah.
It's gonna die.
And that's the layer action. Which brings us to these guys. God, this guy has to dash now. This guy has to dash too, which is great. So there's going to be one attack on Jupe.
Tree.
Jeez.
I'll take 5.
Yep, 5 for me.
One on Sheesh.
My poor Blood Pact Demon. It misses.
Wait, isn't your AC 16?
He's like
Oh,
second
yeah.
60.
Oh, wait, that's
Oh
wrong.
god.
That's wrong. Ignore that. We'll use the rolls. That should be 4 bludgeoning and then 3 acid.
Okay.
Okay. How are you looking? Are you okay there?
I've been better.
That brings us to Sheesh.
Okay.
Kick some ass, Sheesh.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right. First, main action is going to be weapon attack on the big guy. it hit?
Does it?
Yeah.
2 points of acid damage back to you.
Ack.
Yeah, it does that.
Bonus action. I'm gonna offhand the ooze in front of me.
The little guy?
Eh.
That hits. Quite a bit.
Cool. And then I'm gonna do something that's probably gonna be stupid, but this is a one-shot. We're on the last phase of the fight, so I just want to use this. I have a hunting trap.
Oh. Same.
have a
I
le-
never figured out how to use it.
I have a level 3 hunting trap. I just noticed it said I can decide if it's silvered or not when I make it. I don't know if that's just if you have the smith make it, or if you can do it with the thief toolkit too.
I think you need both, but I have the thief if you have the smith.
I have thief.
Oh,
I have Smith.
Oh, there we go.
I'm
We
a
got it.
Smith.
We
It's
got it.
fine. You got me. It's fine.
No, I'm just saying, like, in the description it says when you create this item you may choose if the trap is silvered or not for the purposes of overcoming resistances, and I was just wondering if I as a thief can have that option when I make it, or if that's only if a smith is making it. Do they have the option to make it silvered?
So you need a thief and a smith to make that one.
At all.
Oh, smith and okay, I see what that means
Yeah.
now. I thought that
So
was
if
like
you have a
I thought that was
smith-
like oh okay, now I see, because there's one right above it that's tinkerer or woodcarver. Got it.
But because Frisk has smithing tools, he can assist. He could have assisted you at the beginning of that,
Mhm.
so you could have a silver
cool.
hunting trap if you want.
Awesome. I would love one. Then I am going to use an action surge to plant a level 3 silvered hunting trap right where I'm standing.
Can't believe he commit suicide like this.
Well, I mean, like, I plant it
Yeah,
and then I
Yeah.
move, right? Like, I don't like do I have to plant it on the space I'm in, or is it like a reach sort of thing?
you can place it in front of you.
Okay, then I'm just gonna place it right under this guy and then run.
Okay.
Run for it!
I take 5 feet to get into the water, and then I swim over to the other side and jump out.
Okay. Take 5 points of acid damage from the water.
Does that trigger AOO?
No, I hit them both, so
Yeah.
they can't
So
because
he's-
of rakish or fancy footwork. Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
need healing.
I'm just gonna put this here. It's not an actual monster. We're just gonna call it the trap.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like digging through for the actual
That's
trap
totally
icon that I have. That brings us to Jupe.
Joop draws a card, and a fucking tidal wave blows out of it. And I need dexterity saving throws from all 3 of those things caught in the blast.
But why?
Because I know they're bad at dexterity saving throws.
Joke's on you. The little ones aren't.
Shit!
Roll. Oh.
Joke's on me. They are.
Excellent. Alright, all 3 of them take... Oh my god, that is ass
He did it.
damage.
The big guy did
Oh
it.
my god, he actually
Stop
did.
rolling 19s.
Right? What are these 19? Alright,
Jesus.
the little guys take 13 damage, the big guy takes 6 damage, and the little guys, if they can be knocked prone, are knocked prone. I don't know if they can.
Knock 'em right off those oozy feet.
Yeah.
They cannot. They essentially, they look like they fall over, but they quickly just kind of like reform upside
Fucking
down.
Clobber.
Makes
Seem
sense.
Yeah,
I imagine it's like trying to hit Wobbuffet
Yeah.
in,
Yeah,
like,
just kind
in
of
like Smash Brothers.
Alright, then I'm gonna go and trigger a couple opportunity attacks. So you can roll a couple more 19s before the
You
session
fool.
ends. There, yep, good. And, hey, okay, I dodged one of them. That way I can fire this off without disadvantage. At the boss.
Do take 3 points of damage.
Yep.
So does the Blood Pact.
Alright,
Tactic.
I'll go ahead and wheel around to... I'll go into Tabaxi Dash so I have a fuckload of movement. I'll just get around to his backside. And that's me.
Alrighty. End of your turn. It's going to burn 2 of its legendaries. To
Use
do another creep. And I need Jupe, the Bloodpack Demon. And I think that's it, unfortunately.
Dex saves?
Yeah, he just out of range. So yeah, I need those 2 of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Oof.
I was the other one, yeah.
You were.
Yeah. Alright, so the Elder gets pulled towards it, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh no. It's already pretty bad. 10? Ooh!
He is no
Um,
good.
Wait a minute. I have a reaction for this, which hasn't come up yet. It's called Summoner's Aid. Starting at 7th level, when the creature you can see within 30 feet of you fails a saving throw, you may use your action to expend 1 ally point, and if so, the creature adds your charisma to a saving throw. It adds a 5 to its saving throw,
Oh, hell yeah. Then
making
yeah,
it 15.
he succeeds. Cool. So then he is not engulfed. However, the hunting trap is, and snaps inside of this thing.
Yes! Oh yeah! The
So
gambit.
if you want to roll damage for that.
Okay, creature steps on it. I'm guessing we're bypassing the save because it sucked it into itself.
Yeah,
Okay, so 3d6, right? Because it's a level 3.
I believe so.
Cool. And it's silvered. Whew.
Oh, that's good damage.
Oh shit!
That's really good damage. Yeah, the big silver teeth take a huge chunk of this thing. It looks pretty bad. That brings us to Jupe.
It's me! Wait, that was fast. Holy fuck. Booming Blade.
Or, sorry, no, that was just your turn.
I was gonna say, that was really
I'm
fast.
sorry. Gilza.
Alright. Make it a raid. All 3 on the big guy.
Fuck yeah!
But why? There's so much fodder.
Fuck the father. Kill the big guy.
He's a much bigger target. I can hit him a lot easier.
Ew, it looks real bad.
Yeah! It's almost down. We're making it.
And I'm gonna step 5 feet in any direction. That's my turn.
Hurt.
That's just a flex. That's just a flex.
He's just like constantly swinging around the same tree, just repositioning every single time.
This thing does regenerate as it's in the acid pool.
Oh no. Drag
Very-
out, yes.
Very tiny bit. And then it is going to make a bite on Jupe.
Oh no.
God damn it.
You have 19 AC. 19. Oh my god, that's 11.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. God damn it, Jupe! I need somebody to get swallowed.
Oh, Jupe's
My
never gonna
demon is
You're going for the wrong
dead.
dude if you're going for a swallow. I do the swallow.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that's his turn. Mr. Bliss.
Oh boy. So Mr. Bliss is gonna go flutter down here 30 feet. So he's just gonna be in this space, kind of fluttering above the acid. He's gonna do a pet
Good call.
for the shittiest heal. 11. And he's not going to give a command to the creature. he's going to instead just do a fiend fire. So that means he automatically goes into a dodge. I think that's how it works.
Yep.
Because he's given no orders. And yeah, I'm just gonna fucking. Actually, you know what? Let's finish this. Let's do it. Go attack.
No, I want to finish it.
Well, well, we're gonna try and finish it. So I'm going to do my attack first, and then he's going to do his command attack thing. But I can't do. Oh wait, no, that was a bonus action. I think to
Yeah.
do the. So yeah, so I can't do that, but I can make him attack.
Again.
Oh, that's all I'll do. I'll make him attack. This is his end. C'est la vie, Elder. 18 and 7.
Oh, both those hit for
6 and 8.
6 and 8.
None of them are a crit, and he takes how much damage? 9. Oof. Okay, he's still alive. That's my
Perfect.
turn.
All right, we're at the layer action. Let's do. Yeah, let's do the pseudopods again. I need Mr. Bliss, the Elder, Jupe, and Sheesh to all make strength saving throws.
Why?
Gonna suck.
Because I'm a monster. That's fine. Damn it, Sheesh.
Oh my god. Yeah, how's it feel? How do you like these 19s?
So that's me.
Sorry, that was uncalled for. Or maybe a little called for.
This is the
Yeah, I
Elder.
think it was a little called for.
You've rolled a lot of 19s tonight.
Did only
Where are
Jupe
you?
pulled?
No, wait. How far away is Jupe? I have my reaction back.
Oh,
No, it's not gonna help him. It's not gonna help him. I'm not gonna do it.
thank God.
It's only 5.
Alright, so Jupe takes 4 and the Elder takes 4.
God, the Elder's still alive. He has 4 HP left.
And that's them, and then the
Oh no, Jupe!
Your acid resistance drops. Philo.
Oh no.
Finish it now, Mr. Frog.
Why do they move fast now?
They're dashing. They're moving as fast as their lives could ever move.
one of them dashes towards Jupe, the other comes over to you, Sheesh, and makes an attack on you.
Please don't. That hits.
8 points on Sheesh, and then we're gonna do 2 on Mr. Bliss.
2. The first one hits. This is the first time I've ever been damaged. My fucking
Me-
clothes.
Meanwhile, yells 600 feet away, just hanging
He's-
out.
Slowly getting further. Each round.
Don't worry, guys. We totally got this.
What?
That is the layer and the uses. So sheesh.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Okay, this changes my plan.
You have sneak. We're here.
Oh, that's right,
Looks-
I do have...
Yeah,
I have sneak on range, don't I?
you do.
Awesome.
And there's creatures next to it. Allies next to it, rather.
Okay, then I don't need to use bonus aim for this, which kind of negates a little bit of the speech that I was going to make because
I mean,
will
you
actually
could
have
still
moved-
bonus aim.
I could, but I won't have. Actually,
no,
you know
no.
what? Fuck it.
You
Fuck
need to bonus aim because disadvantage means you don't get sneak.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to do a careful aim, and Sheesh kind of pulls out his bow and says, "Patience is a virtue. Mine is the web that will catch the heavens." And he gives himself advantage on this bow
Spider-Man.
attack against the big guy. And he shoots!
Aha!
Yeah,
And a sneak.
And the sneak.
Oh, weak sneak, but it's good damage.
it is still up.
Woo!
Oh my god.
No,
Jupe gets to do it.
I can't move.
It's okay. Juve.
At the end of Shisha's turn,
Oh my god.
thing is gonna
I
use a
turn
legendary
to the ooze next to me, and I make exactly the face that my token is making.
It's a surprise
Mercy,
fish.
please.
It's surprised fish at you.
This thing is gonna do a creep on Mr. Bliss and the Elder.
Oh god.
Let's
Dex
see.
saves, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Elder. Oh, we're fine.
Shit. Well, there go those two legendaries. Jupe.
Let's do it. Come
Let's do it,
flying
Juve.
out of this muck. Tiny,
You have sneak.
pathetic, shitty little dagger in hand. Starlight's up at the tip.
Ah, it's so
Whoa.
good.
I take a step back if it's not dead. Oh, it's already dead. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
With that, you plant the dagger for the final time into this thing's skull, and you watch as the bones shatter and fragment across the ground. The ooze splashes out, collecting back into this pool, and it goes still. For the sake of this, I'm not going to have you guys clean up all the fodder,
Yeah.
even though they might be a little dangerous at this point. But
I did.
Handle him.
yeah,
Yeah, he did it.
Kelsey can deal with that.
Pew, pew,
Uh,
pew, pew.
That would at least take out 2 of them, if not 3 of them.
Yeah.
I can't believe the fucking elder is still alive. The durability was a really good thing. On
Yeah,
him.
that was real good.
Very
Oh.
good class. We had some good combinations going on here.
We did. Yeah, we synergized really quick in the end.
I do still think a frontliner with like some actual AC and HP would be great.
Yeah, that's what the warden was. I
Um,
mean, I have another one that's more of a. The only reason I didn't use that one was because he's massive and also has a poison attack that will not work here.
Yeah.
But his AC is 19. He has 76 HP. It's pretty good.
but yeah, with that, you guys are able to collect your trophies and return showered with gold and praise. You're rewarded for your efforts.
Yay!
And yeah, this was the first beta test of my weird homebrew stuff.
Hell
I like
yeah.
it.
I like
I
it a
I
lot.
fucking
loved it.
I,
And
So
So it looked like I didn't do a lot, but actually, I like archers, I like fighters, and
yeah,
oh yeah, that's
Um,
the great thing about classes like that. You don't
you did what you were
you,
built.
you
to
don't have
make.
a whole lot of exciting things, but you just deal death.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, the sub skill system I adore. The Beastmaster fighter type might need a little tuning because I'm basically just taking everything that I want from every class. Like it might be a little bit too good.
That's fair. The main idea behind it is essentially just to give like leveling up melee classes a bit more interest.
Yeah, yeah.
Legit. That being said, the Commander Strike. So Commander Strike is my favorite ability in this system, and it's absolutely garbage. There's really no reason to use it in vanilla, and I think using it with Action Surge is a really good way to get around that.
Thank you. I really liked how it worked out. Actually,
Yeah.
it was pretty strong, but as a like only once in a while thing that you get to do, it seems pretty good.
So having, oh, go ahead.
no, you go
Because
first.
no, this might be extensive.
Okay. I was going to preface mine by saying I have a lot of thoughts, but I do have to like kind of dash a little soon, so I'll probably give more feedback later.
Sure.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
I can give my feedback.
But my biggest thing is having the forced narrative "they get away" happen over in the middle of the fight a couple times. I like it. I'm okay with it. I thought I thought it would feel a little heavy-handed to me, and it might in more of like a story-driven environment. But it worked out really well here, and I think it addresses a lot of the problems that frustrate you. I think it's a good system, is what I'm getting at. I think it's a very clever way to ensure that an important boss lives to see another fight.
I dig it.
One thing that you could possibly do. So I really hate to use the word called shot or the phrase called shot, uh, but potentially have multiple targets, especially on a large boss, which is a very Monster Hunter thing to do. But for instance, it gives us a couple of options. Do we hit that big bulbous gland where it's shooting out venom to make the second and third phases easier?
Ooh,
Or do we
yes.
take out the head to push it into the second phase faster?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I love the
But
idea
also,
of being able to do things during these first phases that have a visible and measurable impact on the second
Yeah.
and third phases.
Right.
and like it makes sense that you lock that behind, say, research. If someone who knows that these things exist has to tell someone about, like why would you know all the weak points of the monster unless someone specialized in it, right?
Honestly, I love like having to research and like scout shit ahead of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's gonna be
It's
good.
it's a pretty big thing.
But I also
So
feel like
it's
it's very reasonable to think that like the lore skills that we're kind of working with, or even
Yeah.
just like as is handbook like perception checks or whatever, would be good for identifying weak spots without
exactly.
research from people who have fought some of these things before.
I
Because I get the feeling that not every monster that we fight is going to be something that's been like cataloged before.
Yeah.
I love the lore skill system a lot. I think
I do too. I wish I had a lore skill that wasn't just spiders
Yeah,
for this character.
because they are so specific. I kind of wish that you could get a little bit more of them. And I also like the idea of being able to like earn them over the course of the campaign by like literally doing research and study and stuff. And I imagine you probably already considered that. But it feels good. Having a list of things that you are an expert in feels very good. I like that mechanic a lot.
Yep. I do think refining that could be good. Like I said, it was a little bit tricky because I saw like treasure and then
Yeah,
like appraisal on there. And while I kind of get it, without really knowing the difference, without making like if this is like a character that I was running into a full campaign, it'd be harder for me to make a decision based just on that.
yeah. To kind of mirror and echo that. An example in the medicine section is there is like disease and curing disease, and I'm like, why would that not just be the same thing? And then there was also like injuries and treating injuries, and it just felt fragmented to the point that like each one individually, I felt like by taking one, I was saying, oh well, then I must not be good at treating injuries if I only know what an injury is. So they almost felt a little too fragmented in the examples, but I feel like in practice that would not be an issue, just because you kind of get to pick and choose what your areas of expertise are.
Yeah, my general interpretation for it, or how I would personally run it, is that the more specific that you are with your knowledge skills, the more
Yeah.
information that you'll get,
Yeah.
and the more information you'll get easily.
I like that.
So if you do something like treating injuries instead of just injuries in general, you'll be better at like understanding how to suture something or deal with burns or whatever.
Like if someone was like specialized in diseases and treating them
It's me.
rather than just medicine.
Yeah. So you might not necessarily know all of the symptoms, but you're aware of how to treat them and what things would treat them.
I think a good way to kind of get through that would be to kind of like keyword it a little bit. Like I hate the concept of keywords being a hard mechanic, but like kind of giving some examples to each of the lore skills would help a lot. Like I'm not trying to sound critical at all. I love sub skills, and I think this is a really good interpretation of it.
No,
But
please do be critical because
fuck this shit. No, no, it was really solid. Just having a little more information about what each lore skill or sub skill would do, uh, would be really really good. I also keep calling it sub skills because I feel that some of them weren't really necessarily lore per se. But that might be a different direction of what I'm thinking than what you guys are wanting to do.
Right. It was my understanding that this was mostly made for knowledge checks, right? Not so much like I'm very good at doing this specific task, but I am very good at knowing about this specific topic.
Yeah. Essentially, it's my way of trying to deal with the issue of like, do I know about this person in this city currently? It's like that's not historical knowledge, but make a history check because a history check is just for anything that we can't fit into any of the other checks.
That's why it should be renamed Society. I think Pathfinder did that right.
We live in a society.
Well, that's also why there's history just has such a broad range of
Yeah, Pathfinder also has all the
Taking care of-
lores, all of them. So many.
yeah. So this is kind of just my way of being instead of just having making you make vague knowledge checks about whatever, you guys can actually have some reasonable skills and understanding of specific topics.
I like that a lot. I would also love to see it tied to intelligence, but that's just me.
I feel I tried to diversify it a little bit just to partly just to give all the knowledge skills a bit of a specific thing, but also just because I don't think that necessarily being intelligent necessarily gives you
That's true.
specific societal knowledge, and that's why
Knowledge of bandit secret hideout or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense.
and that's why I put a
Also-
lot of the societal stuff, like current politics and stuff like that, under charisma based stuff, because
That makes
that's
a lot
your
of sense.
Talk to
you're
people,
currently
yeah.
being social and interacting with society,
Yeah.
whereas all the intelligence stuff is all about more historical knowledge, your understanding of the value of stuff. And
Also, a
That's
side
I could
effect.
definitely see. So just real quick, I could definitely see higher end giving you bonus ones instead of being you're better at one or another, just because you can fit more information in that gray matter.
yeah,
Yeah. Also, a side effect of being in low, a low magic campaign is hardly any wizards. Everyone will dump in, right?
that was
I was gonna
Another
dump int
concern.
anyway.
That's the thing.
For what it's worth, if you did tie it to a stat, I would want to see what we currently have is the bare minimum baseline. I would like to have more access to these lower skills. Is I guess what I'm getting at. So it can only go up
Yeah.
from what we are currently experiencing.
that's fair.
All right, cool. That was a lot of fun. That was really cool.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for playing and
Yeah.
testing it with me.
I
this
grew
was fun.
so quickly attached to Sheesh.
Yeah. So
love
I
it.
have
It's
played
wonderful.
three phases of a summoner. Phase 1 as a support. Phase 2 as someone with no power whatsoever except one cantrip, and it was fine.
Hell
The
yeah.
cantrip really helped a lot. I don't know what it's like to play the druid version, right? They don't really have a cantrip that does something like this.
Yeah,
So that's my worry. They don't have something that they can do that'll feel useful. You know,
yeah.
they might.
The-
I imagine maybe they can get an ability that lets them summon a plant that shoots something. You know, or
Yeah.
or fortify.
Quite a few of the summons went down pretty quickly, but also
Yeah.
you chose two summons that are intentionally supposed to go down pretty quickly and threw them in the
Mhm.
front line. So
Yeah. Well, the second summon, which was kind of a tank, and I kind of made into a tank with the durability, the power name system, which works. It would have gone down 2 turns ago if that hadn't happened. Um, it works good as a tank. The healing works as long as it stays kind of out of harm's way. But the heals are kind of close range enough that it kind of still has to be nearby. So it's still in
Okay.
danger, and that's it's not just a free heal, which is good. And the fact that it can also do damage is good.
yeah, I think with the Blood Pact Demon specifically, it was less that it's supposed to be the tank, and it's more that it's supposed to allow one of your allies to be a tank.
Hmm.
Um,
It's like extra health for an ally.
yeah, it's not really supposed to be necessarily getting up in the fray.
Yeah.
And
But I
one
saw
way,
its damage, and I saw its health, and I saw its AC, and I'm like,
yeah,
the AC is okay compared to others here. It's not a tank like say the Greater Demon with its 19 fucking AC.
it might also be worth possibly throwing on a range attack onto the Blood Pact.
It might, yeah. I was thinking about that. Well, the only thing I could think about was, oh, if it's not really meant to be a tank, because it needs to soak lots of HP, it kind of needs to have a way to attack from a distance.
Yeah.
The only demons, I think the only summons I had that had range was the healer, and I think the greater demon, which had a reach attack, not range.
Yeah, it has some reach stuff.
Yeah, but there's the imp, the lesser demon, which I really wanted, but I figured I needed a healer because I wanted to try it out. I had the brute just in case something tried to run away. Not the brute, the demon beast with its trips. I might replace that one because it seems really useful, but in a fight where a lot of people are ranged, it might be more detrimental.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like the demon beast is good. Other things do its job better than it does, but I like that it can do some weird CC stuff, like trip people. Maybe the demon beast can be able to grapple or restrain things, or force movement instead of focusing on the one aspect. So this one is the CC one, and it doesn't paralyze or anything like that. Nothing crazy.
The demon beast is actually just intended to be a mount, really.
Yeah, I figured it has the fastest speed of all the
Yeah, it's got a big speed. It's big, so you can ride
But
it.
there's also the basic mount, which is a better move because it gets a fly later. The thing is, the demon beast has better attacks and it acts as a mount.
Yeah.
And I actually considered what if I get a feat that lets me use the mounted combatant, right?
Yeah.
But I thought about it and I thought, okay, I need a spear or a lance, and the lance is not gonna cut it with a dex based character and a charisma based character. I only have access to bows and simple weapons basically, and the whip. The whip might work because it's got some reach.
All right. I gotta bounce. I'm gonna shut stream down. I will post more
Sure.
thoughts when I get back.
Yeah, I think maybe um I think it could use more power names, and maybe the creatures could have more than one power name. Not a lot, but enough that you could customize it enough to feel like it's personal.